Oh,
All right. What's going on, everybody? This is TEE TV. My name is Charles, and with me today is Damian and Stone. Say hello, guys.
For me?
hello, guys.
Hello.
All right, and today we are going to be discussing Fallout Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8. All right, let's get started.
Which I scared everybody the other day by saying series finale when I meant season finale.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
even scared me. I mean, I was like, what? Did they cancel the show when I wasn't looking?
Time to gloat.
I meant it in the British way. This is the end of the series, but not the end of the show.
Yeah. I was going to say something mean, but I decided to pull back.
Like a pack of cigarettes mean?
No, I was going to say like, not real people. It's like,
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it.
all right, yeah, that's why I
Fuck
said
those
I was
limeys.
going to pull back. Oh man, now you got me to say it.
That's just how we do.
Yeah, but seriously though, I think I got the confirmation that I wanted, and as to who, what is his name? Lucy's father was talking
Hank.
to on the intercom, Hank.
Mhm.
I suspected that he wasn't talking to Mr. House, but he was talking to somebody else. And one of the theories that I had is that he was talking to the Enclave.
So we're jumping all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but I mean, we'll jumble all over the place, so it's fine. But yeah,
Yep.
just so. Any thoughts on that?
on that, or just okay. Well, that kind of brings me right back to my point. Even though they tried to divert and things like this, which I kind of figured that's what something substantial changed the course of what we thought we were seeing on the first episode of the first season of Fallout, and who we thought was responsible for what we saw on the first episode of the first season of Fallout. But
Oh, so you're saying that the people responsible for dropping the bombs wasn't Vault Tech, it was the Enclave.
see, that's the thing that Hank is a perfect symbolism of. Who was Hank working for? Who was Hank working for previously?
I want to say he's working for Vault Tech.
Exactly. But now all of a sudden he's, see the thing that I'm starting to come across too is that the common enemy was Robert House.
I mean, yeah, Robert House is definitely a villain, but I don't think he's a villain. I don't think he's the only villain.
This is
I
like
think
Alien.
he's more of he's almost more of just a wrench in the works.
No, because let's not.
As far as the two plans of these two opposing.
Let's not be hasty because that invention because that little invention that looks like a modernized version of Puppet Masters. That was his invention. That was his invention. Lest we forget.
It was.
It was. So I just feel like we have an alien Earth situation. I feel like
that was the opening scene of this season, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I just think we have an alien Earth situation here, honestly. I think that's what we're looking at.
What?
The Enclave is not good. The Enclave is not good. The Legion is not good. Maybe the New California Republic may actually be decent as they represent the people, possibly.
At least from what I've known about them from games and I guess in the show as well, they're definitely one of the more well-meaning ones. Maybe perhaps a little misguided, a little bit, but less, yeah, definitely less villainous for sure.
But
One of the people
Voltec is not.
actually legitimately trying to maintain some semblance of
Order.
order. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Voltec is not good. And
No,
you know,
Voltec
so
is 100% like
Oh yeah,
bad.
they are rotten.
but to try to but for Robert House to try to make it seem like this shit was, that whole reactor was better in the hands of him, or or because that was ultimately his, his thing. I mean, he was trying to make him, because he certainly is not popping for Voltec. That they should have had it. Am I right on it? Because it certainly seems like he's not on the best terms. He wasn't on the best terms with Voltec, especially from the dialogue that I was hearing. When he got attached to, to the ghoul's arm.
Oh no, he's very much just like, I know what these fuckers are up to, and it's not good.
So basically, he felt like he was the one that was best, that that could best be trusted with that reactor. Then
I mean, of all the options that all the given options that were meant or were possibly going to have it, I would say he probably is the best. Because again, like he's got his issues for sure, but he also did set up he put a lot of things in place in case the bombs did drop to, as best he could, protect I guess Vegas and Nevada.
well, I'll say this though, for
And
for it,
himself, obviously. Like you can't discount that, but he didn't
but
purely have himself in mind.
I'm still gonna say that those devices, what I'm saying, I don't believe in Hank's hands it was something different than what it would have been in Robert House's hands, by the way. But I do feel, I was about to say something here. But I just feel like overall the duality with the situation, either it's like either someone's collaborating, or it's just like a big, war, possibly a three-way war or something like that. Who knows? Or a multi-level war. Definitely it looks like on the surface to where it's the Legion versus the New California Republic, and
But
then
then also with with Ron Perlman's super mutant and whoever he's been gathering. Remember that was the whole reason why he saved the ghoul. He was trying to sort of collect, I guess you call them not superpowered beings, but heightened beings to fight in this war.
No.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, I remember when
The super mutant that saved the ghoul after the ghoul got
yeah.
impaled on that light post.
Oh,
That super mutant was Ron Perlman.
okay. All right. All
Yeah.
right. Real quick. Now, for if you know category, for those out there, anyone who's seen the president's face, the president for this show's face, you knew where it was going. I don't know. Am I the only one who felt that way of us who saw
Clancy
it?
Brown. The
Yeah,
president was Clancy Brown.
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
No,
Clancy
no,
Brown.
no. Stop it.
Oh, so
No,
are
no,
we
no,
going
no,
back
no.
to Carnival? Are we going back to
No,
Shawshank?
no.
Are we going
Dude,
back to his role in Penguin, where he played Salvatore Moroni.
Oh yeah.
We can go back to Pet Cemetery too. Honestly, I'm just saying is when you see like look Starship Troopers, that those were anomalies in his character. You know, so those were anomalies in his character. You know, so I even remember that he was in a Tales from the Crypt episode, actually, dealing with voodoo and miracle drugs and things like that.
Look, the point is that Clancy Brown has been around. That was unintentionally rhyming.
But what I'm saying is with
Clancy
certain people, when you
Brown's been around, Clancy Brown has been around.
Jesus, aren't you younger than me?
Yes.
Jeez, I figured it would be.
What?
I figured your remix on that would be a little more. I don't know, hip.
What am I supposed to sing in the style of Billie Eilish? Which I don't even know what that is. Depressing shit music? I don't know.
I thought you might headbang it or dubstep it or new metal it.
I don't know, man. What you
Look, I'm old enough to appreciate that old timey jazz music.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel you, but come on, you know what I'm saying? You could have really, you could have really went Clancy Brown, yeah, it's been around. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, damn, we could have took it back to maybe the mid '90s. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. I'm putting out a call to arms. Somebody make an AI song that says that has the lyrics Clancy Brown has been around.
Yeah. But the point that I'm making, there's certain people that when you see them appear on a show, that it means that, like, when you, like, for example, when we in the show Your Honor, when you see old girl's father, come, appear on the show, for most people, you kind of figure, I'm saying, I think it's almost people of almost a couple different generations, when they see that guy, they know. You can go as far back as Scarface to know what that guy was on. You know what I'm saying? He was the guy that made the no women, no kids defense necessary. If you know, you know.
Like, he's blanking on his fucking name. In Breaking Bad, he was in Oz, he was in Scarface, and I can't remember his actual name. But yeah, that guy.
But he's that guy. When you see him, you know what I'm saying? You know things are, things are he's gonna be looking to put a stranglehold on something or somebody. Saying for some reason. You gotta come in there and do do something, to do cleanup work or something. It's like if somebody else comes in and you feel like somebody's gonna get double crossed. Since someone's, something like, you always know when you see a certain person, okay. We like my guy who was the, oh my God, like my guy who was the head of the whole little blue ribbon program is disturbing behavior. Like, when you see him sometimes, somebody, what I'm saying? He's the architect.
In what? Well, what was the movie?
Disturbing Behavior.
I don't think I've seen it.
Are you kidding me? The blue ribbon.
It's possible I know who you're talking about, but
James, I believe James Marsden, why am I forgetting her fucking name and shit? Dawson's Creek, Tom Cruise's ex-wife. Why am I forgetting her fucking name?
Katie Holmes.
Yes.
Katie Holmes.
My man, Gavin, it was been in a few things, was in one of the Terminator installments and whatnot. I mean, it's pretty good cast and whatnot. There was some other people in there, but I mean, it's just about, teenagers being, having a sort of like a modernized, lobotomy to make, to make them more conditioned, and things like that, Can't believe you never saw that.
I can't believe you would have forgotten the name of the mother of Tom Cruise's child.
Like, how dare you, sir?
I
She's
got
a
that.
national treasure. Or something.
You know what? Yeah, see, yeah. I'm about to go back. I'm about to go back to a Princess Bride. That phrase doesn't mean what you think it means.
I know it doesn't. That's the joke.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to do that. I have to. I'm sorry. I'm a poet. I have to do that.
Wait. Princess Bride. Oh. For a second there, I thought you were talking about the Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway.
Charles's favorite movie.
No,
His
I only
favorite movie
watched
is
that movie
Twilight.
because of Anne Hathaway.
No. He likes the intern where Anne Hathaway aura farms on Robert De Niro.
What? That didn't happen.
Oh, it totally happened.
I didn't watch The Intern, but I'm sure that didn't happen.
Yes, the intern is where Anne Hathaway aura farms on Robert De Niro. He actually appears in a movie with Anne Hathaway, and she aura farms him.
Oh, wait. Oh, god damn it. The internet has ruined me. You said Aura Farm. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I thought he said oral farms, like mouth stuff.
Yeah, that's what
I was like, is
thought
that a
too.
term I've never heard before?
Yeah, I thought that too, Damian.
Good God.
But I have
Which is
seen
why
an Own Havoc where she got her titties out. That was good.
Which is why I said the internet has ruined me.
I think for me, it's many years of listening to metal too loud. And I don't hear so good.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the gooning.
What, jerking off leads to hearing loss? If that was the
No.
case, I would have been deaf years ago.
Yeah.
No, jerking off leads to thinking that everything is oral. Oral, by the way. See, that's how I say oral. Aura. That's a different
Anal?
word. Aura. See? And there we
Aura.
go. And there we go.
Or maybe stick it in her ass.
See
Is that
the
what you're
see
trying
the
to
goon.
say?
And I rest my case on the gooning.
I'd like to say I've learned a lesson today, but that would be a lie.
But yeah, like I said, he plays an older man, well qualified, who has to come in and work and consult some young, some young businesswoman and everything like that. And
I'm familiar with the movie. I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
It was what? It was him and De Niro and Vince Vaughn?
No.
What?
Oh?
No. The Intern is De Niro and Anne Hathaway.
What am I thinking of then? What was the movie where, like, I don't know.
I can't think of a single
Where
movie
Vince
that
Vaughn works for Google?
Vince Vaughn did together.
It was something like that.
Now,
But that was Owen Wilson. Robert De Niro was nowhere near that.
Other people.
I don't know.
I mean, Wedding
seen
Crashers,
either of them.
Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
No, it's not that. I swear it was like a movie where Vince Vaughn and... did you say Owen Wilson?
Uh-huh.
Tried to work for. It was called I think that was The Internship.
Oh yeah, The Internship.
Oh, okay. So fuck me for being so far off.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn. It's where they get an internship at Google.
But don't get so high on the horse there, because you put Robert De Niro in there. He was nowhere in that movie. I think you mistook Robert De Niro for Josh Gad.
Oh yeah, that's right. I get those two mixed up all the time. It's a problem I have.
Josh Gad and Robert De Niro look nothing alike.
Bullshit. Google it right now. You'll see you're mistaken, sir.
You know what? I'm actually tempted to look this up. Okay. Josh Gad.
It's a waste of your time.
De Niro.
And by the way, while he's looking that up, I'm gonna say once again, I'm gloating because I knew, by the way, that they were going to change the course of what we thought, which is bullshit. But I tell you what made me feel better about it, why I'm really gloating, is the ending. You know what I'm saying? I'll give Fallout credit. Like, unlike most shows now, you can be a few shows in to a season and feel like you know where the season is going. Like you pretty much almost had to get to the last episode to really get a full view almost of what was happening, a full confirmation of what was happening. So I still feel like she's the final boss. Either she's part or she's right there with the final boss of this. I still Barbara.
Barbara.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
seeing
come
it. I just don't see Robert De Niro and Josh Gad being lookalikes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did you misspell something? Are you Googling the wrong people?
No, I'm not. I know who Josh Gad is. I know who Robert De Niro is. I mean,
And you don't think they look alike?
no, they don't.
I'm puzzled by this.
But I'm gonna say this.
Has my bit not been coming across, Charles?
What? What'd you
I was
say?
fucking around.
God damn it. You know I have a hard time picking up on that shit. God,
I thought you got it.
asshole. God.
I thought you knew it was been like, yeah, I'm totally Googling this.
But on your side, Damian, you have to understand that after a certain point, when you realize that Charles is really trying to confirm on the topic, you got to go ahead and just to die. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, that's what I've learned. That once he starts really getting conversational about it, you kind of got to do the review. You know what I'm saying? So he'll know. Sometimes he will.
Instead of having me go all in on that rabbit hole and making me look like a jackass.
No.
Well, I think it's partly it's my fault because I've been established as a jackass who gets people mixed up legitimately. Because I'm just like, yeah, that's that person, but no, it's not that person. But I realize it too late, and I've already said it.
It's like, oh my god, Josh Gad and Robert De Niro, they could be twins. No.
Is that his son?
But look, honestly, I got to be honest with you. I don't like the diversion tactic. I hate it. I recently had to witness this in brutal form in this Netflix show called His and Hers.
That's that new John Bernthal show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was mid. It was kind of mid. No. You know what? I won't say that it was completely mid.
Uh-huh.
I would say that the way they tried to create smoke screens, it made it mid. It kind of took away from the excitingness of it. You know, in a way.
It's sort of like you can see that they're trying to mislead you.
That it to the point where people predicted who the killer actually was on dumb luck. Pretty much.
Okay.
Like they were just able, just because of all the shit they were trying to throw at you, people just predicted the you know what I'm saying? People predicted the killer, not because they had any real analyzation of what was happening, but just dumb luck. Just because of everything that they were doing. They're like, let me move all this bullshit out of the way. I think it's that person. Just on dumb luck.
It's like, yeah, this is clearly some kind of bullshit. This is clearly some kind of bullshit, so I guess it must be this guy. And then sure enough.
Because people move foundationally on believing that a lot of shows have plot armor and things like that. So, you know, what people are going to feel like is that most people are going to feel like that neither John Bernthal nor Tessa Thompson is going to be, but it could have been, and maybe still gotten away for some reason where it may have been justified. But to kind of spin it all the way around to here, it just, I just, because you were still because it. And even the more I think about it, the more I realize that she was almost okay. Let me ask you this: do you guys have any intention on seeing his and hers? By the way,
I kind of did initially, but I just sort of lost interest pretty quick. So, yeah.
yeah, it's
I
cool.
thought about checking it out because I like John Bernthal, so I was like, maybe if I have nothing else to watch, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that was pretty much my thoughts. And when it gets to that point, it's like, yeah, I'll probably never get to it. I got so many things on the fucking back burner.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just it just really did a lot to what I'm saying, to play around this, I'm saying, certain things, and it just I don't know. It's like everybody wants to create their sandbox now. Like Hollywood was the main sandbox that everybody wanted to play in, and the things that they created was just like little, it was them thinking they were creating art or thinking they were telling stories, but they were playing in real people's stories and doing certain things. It's weird how they do things. Like with Tessa Thompson being, I believe, biracial, they were trying to play into this whole thing of her being black, like mainly, like, and it being Georgia, but they lived in a small town, what I'm saying, so sort of just separate from Atlanta called Dahlonega. But they were just really trying to play into the situation. And it is like I told my family when I was watching it, after we were watching it, I just feel like I get tired of like in you, like for the black character, that for the black female that so that was a love interest, an obsession for Joe. And you, it was like you know what I'm saying, you basically go out with a news anchor or a reporter who's like an abusive drug addict or whatever, it's extremely toxic, just to, just to jam yourself in the white world so you can sit around with your arms folded in a library to basically sort of like as sort of like a part of your identity to show that you're smarter than everybody else and act like everybody only cares about a white girl being missing, and having your mini choir to sort of like, yeah, that's right. It's like Netflix did it then and they did it in His and Hers also. It's like,
And they're gonna keep doing it.
but it's
in the
just,
name of trying to appear as though they're doing something. But
but
it's just
what are you
they
doing
don't seem to learn. They never learn from anything.
But the thing that's getting worse with it is that, like in this case, you want to act. It's like you want to act so pro-black in the situation, but yet you still end up with a white guy. All the guys you ever seem to have sex with are white guys. So it's like, what is the point of the whole? When we go back to my childhood bedroom, we'll see the TLC poster because that's you never see who her father is. You never even I believe if my memory serves, you never even really hear about her father. You know what I'm saying? It's mainly about her mother, like, and basically everything is like it's almost like, to me, the real suspense, the real mystery is who's really to blame for the way societies, what I'm saying, operate. Because it's like you do what? Okay, you feel like I need to bring my daughter to this small town. She needs to go to this private school. And for me to pay for it, and for me to be able to afford her being here, I need to clean the school that she goes to. So, and then, so anyone who doesn't see me otherwise will definitely see, me in school and see that's her mother. And I say that because she also cleans cleans the houses of some of the students that goes there. So, there's those who know that, they clean that her mother cleans their houses, and everyone else knows that she cleans the school. And all of this just so she can afford to go to this private school to eventually become a news anchor in Atlanta. And that couldn't have happened in Atlanta. We had to move to the small town with mainly to where a black woman who's a news anchor who wants to come down there to investigate a murder for some reason. She was just hot and is so ready to get back and investigate that. That, like I said, it's the more I think about it, the weirder it gets for me to think, like, hold on. Like, how is she just so hopped up to come back? You know, it's just a lot of weirdness with this, a lot, and they just, like I said, they try to take you in so many different directions, and it creates this whole situation like the town is racist. That small town, the people there, they were racist. The girls were awful, but it's like, was this not known? Good God. But it's like, was this not known? Was it really worth bringing, you know what I'm saying, bringing her to this town to do all of that, to be a constant reminder that, you know what I'm saying, that she quote unquote doesn't belong there, and everything that follows? It's just, you know, it's almost like you create a moment for rage and revenge. And it's I mean, I don't know. I just wonder about that type of stuff. You know, I just don't think anybody sensibly would just move to a place, you know, and not research it and not know how it is and be like one of the only black people there and everything like that, and kind of have this whole juxtaposition, you know, and like I don't, like, maybe you guys can help. Maybe you guys can help out, like, why this type of thing happens anyway. Why do you feel like it happened even in you?
I think it's because shitty writers try to ham-fist things into places without doing things naturally. It's like, much like many things, it's like if you do something naturally, I don't think people are really going to be. I think people are going to respond to it. But when you sort of try and force things in places that don't make sense, or where it should make sense, but you make it not make sense, people are just like, no, fuck this.
It's an
No,
issue that
fuck
comes
this.
from two sources. It's either a writer that doesn't write what they know, or it's a writer that won't research what they're writing about.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've gone to conventions where they have like a panel of writers that are talking about their craft, and every single writer that is on this panel will say the same thing: write what you know. You write what you know, and everything will fall into place after that. It's just, I mean, it's simple. It's a simple fucking concept. And sure,
And sort of
if you don't write what you know, at least do the research of what you're writing about.
exactly, because it's like, you know, a white guy can write stories about, like, you know, racism and stuff like that with black people or whatever, but
Yeah.
if you're doing it from such a distanced standpoint,
Yes.
where you just be like, no, this would definitely happen. And it's like, no, like Stone said, no one realistically would put themselves in this situation to have this shit happen.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, it just comes across as fraudulent,
Yeah.
and it
It really
doesn't
does.
register as they
If you
think this profound thing they're writing should
if you
register.
if you write about something like that, or something that would be charged, I guess is the word you're looking for, something that
Yeah,
is like socially charged or politically charged or whatever, it needs to be believable. It needs to be something that people would recognize as believable. Because if you make it, what's the word I'm looking for here? Um Blatant, maybe the word is what I'm looking for, like something that seems outlandish, like people aren't going to accept it. They're going to say like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't happen," or "that doesn't happen," or whatever. It's just, at that point people will reject it. They're going to
And
reject it.
you could be absolutely writing about something that does definitely happen, but you're putting it in situations, places with characters that it doesn't gel. Nothing. It just doesn't. Yeah, it's not right.
Yeah.
Because
It,
anyone can write about anything, and anyone can
yeah.
write about anything properly. But
Yes.
in
But
so many cases, it
it,
just doesn't work because the people are not good at what they're doing.
it needs, whatever a person writes about, it needs to be believable. It
Yeah,
needs to
exactly.
be. That's the
I think that's
only
where,
way that it's the only way your readers are going to accept it, is that it needs to be believable. And another
and
key aspect, it should be also relatable to a certain point. Now, if you like, I know I've said in the past that I don't like representation in stories because, and some people don't like it when I say that, because it's like I say, like, representation doesn't matter, but other people disagree with me. My reasoning for why I think representation doesn't matter is because the people who all scream about representation and diversity and all that, it's their fault why I think representation doesn't matter, why diversity doesn't matter, because they force that stuff on us. They say, like, oh, you need to put diversity and you need to put representation in, and they keep pushing it into it, and they keep stacking it on top of it to the point where it's bloated. It overtakes the story you're trying to tell. If you're going to put representation or diversity into the story, it needs to be natural. It needs to be organic. But if you're just going to force it into the story, it doesn't fucking matter. It
It's
doesn't.
sort of
okay,
like if you watch like commercials, entertainment, you would think that 95% of people are gay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's too high a percentage, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah, I
just
know what you're saying.
there's an over-representation of a lot of things.
Yes,
They
I
go too
100% agree
far,
with
like
that.
they go too far in that direction.
Yes. Like,
yeah,
everybody's all concerned about, oh, I want to feel like I'm being represented in this story or this movie or this show or whatever. And I'm like, why? This was never really an issue 20 or 30 years ago, so why does it matter now?
okay. Now I can, like I said, like I've done before, I can feel.
You're
Uh,
breaking
You
up again, Stone.
oh, of course I am.
Yeah.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. Good. Oh,
yeah.
you can't see me holding my thumb up. I'm sorry. I'm not on camera. I was giving him a thumbs up when he said, "Give me a second." So,
It's one of those things I've seen where like people will say like, oh, if I don't see myself represented in this story, I can't relate to it. It's like I related
but
to
why does a
many
person need to relate to this? Why?
just because like they look like them or they have the same lifestyle. Like like I've watched
It's
so
it,
many
it's
things,
it's like some kind
so
of
many
like self
characters.
gratification. That's what it
Yeah, so
feels like to
many
me.
characters I've related to are not like me at all.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess on some level they kind of have to be to it in some
All right.
way,
Mic
but
test, Stone. Let's hear it.
Any better?
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
all
good
good.
now.
All right. Sorry to jump back in. I really want to try to feel this situation so that, because I kind of want to clear this up with this
Yeah.
whole race swapping and representation. First thing, somebody made a great point, and I really, it's not, I'm really not going to keep saying stuff like that anymore. Somebody made a really great point, and you always got to learn something. You always got to keep learning, and it shouldn't annoy me that it didn't occur to me before now. But I think a lot of times that when you need to tell a politically charged story, or you know, or kind of, what I'm saying, look, what I'm saying, kind of look in or question certain topics or issues that are going on today. I think the representation thing is becoming a thing to where it's not so much the representation doesn't matter, but it's more like the real topics start not to matter because if you think that, oh yeah, Superman can be black, then it means like racism is not where people is saying it is. And it becomes, and it sort of becomes that sort of like weird, exchange in a way. So that's where I feel like for me personally, the whole thing is like I'm pulling back. I'm even pulling back on arguing for that because I don't want it to be seen as like, oh, well, look at this. Because we can make Superman black, or we can make this character black, or this character black, then it's saying that it's not racism.
Well,
There was never racism or anything like that. So that's
I
like,
would.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt. It's just I would argue that the same people that are saying that they can turn Superman black are the same people that would argue that turning Superman black means that you cannot turn a character like Black Panther white. It's basically
or any other race.
it's okay to do one thing, but it's not okay to do the other. Now, I'm
Hmm.
not saying that we would turn Black Panther white. I am against doing something like that. But turning Superman black, I am also against that because
Okay,
Superman is an established character, and
gotcha.
and
And
But that's
this
but
is a good
but that's
point.
where and that's
You don't need
and that's
to.
where and I get it, and I get it. We've heard all these talking points, but see this, and I don't mean to interrupt, but this is where
yeah,
we gotta allow we gotta allow the stew to cook for just a little bit because I get this, and but we also got to get to a point where we at least have a category at some point in our thinking and our talking points of I don't know, picking our battles.
yeah,
What is an appropriate battle to speak on? Because see, here's the thing that I need for people to understand. Disney, one of the biggest animated and movie companies, what I'm saying, ever.
yeah.
A lot of the content that has their established foundational characters were based on racism. That's not an opinion. That's
No,
not
no, that's a fact.
hyperbole. That's
That's a
that's an
fact.
absolute fact. But what
Yeah,
I'm trying to do, what I'm still trying to do for a lot of people is understand that there are true well-meaning people who are hanging on the true nostalgia because they were duped. I get it. And I'm not calling them stupid by any means. What I'm saying is
no,
that these classic movies, which are classic, they were greatly done, greatly written. Absolutely, they came from books and other properties that came before that. So I mean, it was greatly done. But what happened was a lot of that stuff and other things were created based off of a mindset of people that were targeting a certain situation a certain way. And there are certain people now that are held on nostalgia. There's like, for example, with the Little Mermaid, there are people who are truly hanging on the nostalgia of Ariel from the animated movie that they've seen before. But when I'm telling those people, there are true racist people that are interweaving in that nostalgia debate, and basically pulling on that to disguise their racism about the situation. Like, like I say, those people are the people who would argue that will argue that Will Smith shouldn't have been that Will Smith shouldn't have been a black cowboy in the the movie Wild Wild West because it keeps the perpetuation that there were no black cowboys, which is a lie.
oh yeah, I knew that there were plenty of black cowboys.
But yeah, but see, but that's a conversation that's a conversation in the debate that was had about that. And all I'm saying is like that situation, even if or not, is small. But I feel like yeah, established characters that were one way, but then we speak about the like for like all I could say is this, you know, you absolutely honestly, if I my creative mind, you could absolutely do a scathing, what I'm saying, Black Panther, a
Mhm.
scathing white Black Panther. Why? Because there is such a thing as South Africa. There was such a thing as apartheid. There is such a thing as white South Africans now. I'm just saying, you
Yeah,
know, And so
I mean,
basically,
Elon Musk is white South African.
Yeah.
yeah. So they
But the
so
thing is that I mean, another thing is that do you know this, Stone, that the character Black Panther wasn't even created by black artists? He was created by a white guy,
Was it?
wasn't he?
okay.
Was it Stan
Okay,
Lee?
well, okay,
No,
but you have to okay, but again, see, this is the thing that we got to understand. Like, we can't have these conversations as if a black comic making, you know what I'm saying, a black comic trying to make any sort of comic would get the same opportunity that a white comic back in the 60s or the 70s would have gotten. That's the thing that we got to understand. Like, we got to
yeah,
understand that a gigantic conglomerate like Disney has conspired for decades to ensure that there would never be a black prince shown, and they had to and they had to grin and bear it because they were attached to the Marvel property, which created Black Panther.
okay,
So like it or not, they had to basically help put out a movie that depicted a black prince, whether African or whatever. They had to depict it.
yeah.
So but otherwise, they've done everything they could possibly do to ensure that a black prince or a black king would never be seen in any, any content that they create. It's still happening today. It's so this is a part of the conversation where we have to get smarter about the nostalgia. I understand the nostalgia. I have a lot of nostalgia about certain things myself, but a lot of things, because is it nostalgia or is it racial nostalgia? Because to say Black Panther, I wouldn't want to turn Black Panther white, but it's like,
No.
why is that the one we want to go to? Why not go to the many black characters that have the same or similar electrical powers? You could be any one of those.
Static Shock, for example.
I mean, but what the point I'm trying to make is, why do it's like we got to be smarter about our nostalgia conversations, because that's exactly the first place that we go. But we have Black Lightning. There's many places that I can go. Why? Why can't why wouldn't we want to turn those other characters white? Because it's like Superman is not white man.
No, he's not.
So Superman is Superman. Really, his actual name is Kal-El. That's his actual name. You know what I'm saying? But Superman was something that was that Americanized bullshit. But hey, that's another conversation for another time. But what I'm saying is that black, is that Black Panther, because again, we have to understand the conversation. I don't know if you know, but do you know they're trying to erase the Black Panther, the actual Black Panther, as a big cat species, that they're trying to act like that big cats that look like leopards are actual panthers.
Wait, what?
They're trying to make it seem like an actual Black Panther is an anomaly.
Who?
What?
Who is doing this?
They. You know who the they is.
As in
They, them? The non-binaries?
Okay. Now we done with that. All right. So now we're done with that. Now are we? So now it's the other they. It's the other they.
Wait, they as in the people
Mexicans.
working behind the scenes. They're, oh my god.
So that whole thing, and honestly, and there are even black people who claim to be blurs, black nerds, that are trying to say that it was bullshit. When I sat here and watched the video where Stan Lee said it himself, that Magneto and fucking Charles Xavier was inspired by Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. He made them white because basically at the time that he was making X-Men, he could not, he honestly could not sell black characters, in a comic. So if he wanted to make money, he had, he had to make them white.
So Charles Xavier and Magneto were originally supposed to be black.
No, that's not the point.
Okay.
Their ideals are reflective of the of the people that they are. Charles Xavier was most reflective of Martin Luther King. He wanted the mutants and the humans to be able to fellowship and be together, and live, with a common ground and understanding. You know,
And then
Ma-
Magneto was Malcolm X.
Magneto feared, feared that the humans would never accept them, as they are, and would constantly try to exterminate them. So the only way, to get their respect and their peace was to let, was to let them know that they will hold ground if they try, if they try to take them.
Like, isn't unless I'm just thinking of the movie, isn't Magneto's thing that he's a Holocaust survivor?
Of course,
Yes,
of
he is.
course. But that, like I said, that's the way to, turn that and still, and still bring the same feeling of, of where he's, of where he's coming from. The feeling of being different and subjugated in one way or, or another. I mean, I saw the video clip. I saw the man say it himself. So unless somebody did this and was working on AI just to fuck with people all the way back then, I'm not so much all the way, but it's definitely a few years ago that I actually saw that clip. And it's something that's been said, but for someone, even someone black, to kind of say that it's not to say that, again, that they are because Malcolm X had this, and it's nothing about that. It's just about the ideals. But he also said that he possibly would have made them black. Not, but basically, of course, he couldn't sell. He couldn't sell. Basically, you couldn't sell. No one could sell. Like I said, the only place back at one time you could work was Disney. And if you were going to work at Disney, you had to go by what they were going to do. And some of the racist stuff that they put out, that they bury and hide, it shows where they are. It's always shown where Disney was on that end. And so, and like I said, and I understand it. And this goes way before any of us. For a lot of us, a lot of this stuff goes way back, even before our parents were born. So I mean, it goes way back. A lot of people that have no idea the truly racist history that Walt, that Disney carries, honestly. And so that nostalgia is honest nostalgia from people. It really is. It really, really, truly is. And but for some people, it's just plain racism. Like, to the point that people boycotted. People were actually getting outraged by George Lucas having a black male and a woman as a lead, and having no, because these supposed fans had an outrage, having no realization that, that his wife is black, and she helps, and she helps with certain, with certain matters, as with, as with running the company, per his wishes. So I mean, I don't, but I don't understand how people who claim to be fans of George Lucas and fans of his content never realize that.
Are you talking about Billy D. Williams and Carrie Fisher?
Hey, no, no. I mean,
Hold on, I'll be back.
Billy D. Williams was a lead.
I mean, he was a supporting role, but I mean,
No, we're talking about Finn and Ray.
he wasn't involved in that movie.
People were definitely dropping it at his doorstep.
Yeah, but George Lucas had nothing to do with the sequel trilogy. He was not involved. That was Disney's fault, not his.
See, that's the whole thing. Fault. That seems so funny. See,
Look, by the time The Force Awakens came out, George Lucas had already washed his hands of Star Wars. He was done. He wasn't involved anymore. He already sold the rights off.
Oh boy, but like I said, but you can't honestly believe that somebody just kind of just dust their hands off and just kind of walks off with and no one wanting to pick their brain, any sort of consulting, any sort of
Look,
any sort of
George Lucas gave Disney an outline for where he thought the sequel trilogy should go, and Disney had said that they would take it under advisement, but then as soon as Disney had full control of what they can do with Star Wars, they took that outline, they bundled it up into a little wad of paper, and they threw it in the trash bin, and they pretty much did whatever the fuck they wanted with the IP.
Oh, and so you felt like casting a black male lead and a female lead, George Lucas wouldn't have done that.
I don't know what George Lucas would have done with the sequel trilogy because I never saw what the outline was. But I do know that what Disney did with the sequel trilogy is not what George Lucas would have done. I think this is my best guess. What he would have done is something to do with the original cast. He would have done something with Leia. He would have done something with Luke. He would have done something with Han. He would have done something with all of them before the members that passed away.
Oh, they did. They trashed him, but now, Han got killed.
Yeah, but that was at the request of Harrison Ford. He wanted him out.
Oh, they did. And did Mark Hamill? Did Mark Hamill request being bitched?
No, that was 100% Rian Johnson's idea.
Okay. But I don't think that the mistake was casting Finn and Rey as the leads. I just think the way they wrote Rey and Finn, for that matter, was problematic. But it's the way they wrote it. The way.
Yeah, like the entire sequel trilogy wasn't even planned. They didn't even know what they wanted to do with the sequel trilogy or the characters. They just winged the entire trilogy. And Daisy Ridley, who played Rey, confirmed that because they asked her in an interview if their plan to make, when they revealed that her character was going to be the granddaughter of Palpatine, they asked her if that was the plan from the beginning, and she straight up said no. That was not their plan from the beginning. And that confirmed that they didn't have a clear plan.
Okay. I'm just saying, I think this to kind of tie things even back towards Fallout. I just think that the racial thing, while I don't feel like it achieves it achieves or it solves any real racial issues, in the world, because these things happen. I don't think that I just think that we just, like I said, I think overall when it comes to the race swapping, I just think we have to be just smarter about the conversations that we're having about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, because sometimes with me, I know how I can be sometimes. I can be when I feel people trying to play a game with something like nostalgia, it makes me want to be indifferent to that. So, to where, yeah, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Any character can be race swapped. That's how I'll get, just, just to get under somebody's skin. When I feel like they're trying to play into something that's not real, or they're trying to play into something and stomp every little bit of it out, and in the situation, I just don't dig that. So when I feel like people are trying to, just like I had to balance out, because one of the main reasons why I was like so not going to do too much of like the open, just doing shows and bringing people on and things like that, because of the people that we dealt with, the people who thought they could slip. I was always on guard and feeling like, okay, somebody's going to try to say something stupid, and and thinking they could get one by me, and I was always going to be on guard for that. But after a while, I felt like I had to balance that out and know who's, you know what I'm saying, who's trying to be humorous and who's trying to be slick with what they're doing, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. Who's trying to have a real conversation and who's just trying to see, so they when they run back to their other white friends, they could tell them that they slipped one past the black guy, right, you know what I'm saying, right on the show, right where he was listening and watching them do it. You know, it's always trying to discern that. And it's the same thing with the nostalgia conversations. It's discerning who's, you know what I'm saying, what's really being said in the way of nostalgia, and what ground is being held for that legitimately, and what's just being, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. I mean, because honestly, bro, like us as kids, honestly, us as kids, just think about it for a second. Because people used to say it, and you try to brush it off, but think about this for a second. The Flintstones and the Jetsons had a severe lack of black people. I'm like, what message would that send to little black kids?
I mean,
a comedian said it plain. We weren't in the past, and we don't seem to be in the future.
Yeah.
Even in the damn cartoon. I like the Jetsons. See, there's a lot of shows that I like coming up as a kid that I wasn't heartbroken or offended or you know what I'm saying, or let down because they didn't have black characters in it. But at the same time, I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to see the Bionic Six. Why? Because at least one character in the Bionic Six was black. And I would get up just to see that cartoon and then go back to sleep until later on in the morning, and I would get back up. You know what I'm saying? No one told me that I was supposed to feel that way, but for some reason I felt that way. So it's like, if I guess always for me, representation was in its own way important, but I didn't feel like it needed to be jammed into every situation. But even in a situation where it's like, damn, we're talking about a show about the future. Yeah, we'll focus on one family, the Jetsons, but to create a show to where you don't really see any black people in a futuristic show, it just, you can't help but to notice that.
Hmm.
You know, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
But it's not, but like I said, and that's the thing. A lot of us that are in, you know what I'm saying, that are in our 40s, that are in our mid to late 30s, even, we notice that, but no one's running around and saying, this is what this is. This is constantly, categorically, all the time. Like you see things like that, and it's just like, or when you see us in a movie, it's like, it's like we play, it's like, and that's when you hate to see, like, okay, you don't really see us, and even something as trivial as an animated, you know, animated TV show. And then when you see certain movies or shows with us in it, it's always with that certain trope and everything like that. There are black kids that have never experienced what people stereotypically think that black people experience. They've never experienced it. There are people who are like Alfonso Ribeiro's character. The Alfonso Ribeiro, the character that he played the very rare black rich kid. And I mean, it's a weird connecting trope that people don't see.
Okay.
Are you familiar, or have you ever heard of the show Silver Spoons?
No, I've never heard of it.
I think I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's a show where a father is reconnecting with his son. He's an extremely wealthy guy. His son, who his mom didn't grow up with that wealth. I don't know if she died or something like that. There's a circumstance that ended up bringing them together, where he comes to live with him, and he has to get used to living the life that his father has. But the one kid who becomes his best friend, who's very well used to living that life, is Alfonso Ribeiro's character, a black kid living in an extremely wealthy neighborhood. He was like a preteen kid. And then we move from that to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he plays Carlton. Once again, black rich kid, very, very rare, like, outside of Will, he has no other black friends. And that's a very rare, say character that people never really talk about. Like the few black people that exist in this world that have not dealt with the stereotypical things that people think that they deal with. And so that's why I say in certain conversations, representation does matter in the way that when we do get, that we are displayed, how we're represented in that representation is important. I don't think that saying that every notable or legendary character has to be populated by a person of color. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. I believe that there are great characters that people have written that people didn't want to give a shot to that could be there. That could be created. I believe that certain things and certain properties can be changed up. Honestly, like let me give you an example. Like, what if the actual werewolf trope could be given over to black people or people of color?
I'm against it. I am firmly against it.
Awesome. I'll note you down, racist.
Just kidding.
No. So am I.
I'm just trying to remember how we got here.
No, we got here.
We got here because I started voicing my opinion on the whole matter of representation and diversity in movies, and that kind of like put us down this whole rabbit hole.
Technically, no. Technically, no. I'll bring it. I'll bring it back. I just think. I think that basically, we've been having this conversation, getting to the end of this season. Do you feel any differently about the race situation as you see it, as you saw it coming in these last few episodes? Did it change anything for you at all, or did you still feel like overall they really weren't seeing a racial thing here?
Are you talking about like Cooper and his wife? Talking about that?
Any part that you've seen? Because I'll start. I'll just start. For me, I felt like a lot of the workers that Hank had, they were non-white. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people that were in Freeland, I believe, if I'm saying the name right.
Freeside.
Yeah.
Freeside. Sorry. You definitely seen a lot more. You know what I'm saying? A lot more. At least a few more black people and black men, especially that one that was kind of moving into more of a, more of a speaking role. Mm-hmm. Woody's gone already.
He was the bartender at the bar. He was the bartender.
Yeah, and see Woody's gone already. He got hosed. I mean, and by the way, let me just be clear: when you go and start invading somebody else's country, yeah, you're bound to make some pretty vicious enemies because of that. I mean, it's just what it is. But see, I'm just saying, how are we still playing?
Poor motherfucker didn't even get a death scene. That's a shame. Poor motherfucker didn't even get a death scene.
Yeah, that is. I mean, but let me ask you this though. Like
you see at the bottom of a fucking garbage disposal. It's like, yeah, it's probably not good for him.
Does this whole Canada, Canadians versus American thing, does this not still play into like they're going really by the book when it comes to this whole 50s, 60s aesthetic?
Well, in the Fallout lore, if I'm not mistaken,
no, they did annex Canada.
Yeah, they did. They annexed Canada, so
But
that
that's what
Yeah,
is
I'm.
that is
they,
accurate
they
to
call it
Fallout 4.
the. I think they call it
Cool.
the. I want to say it's like the Big 51 or something like that, because it's the 51st state. Yeah, I can't remember. It's something like that.
Yeah, and again, it's just, and just thinking about that type of stuff, it just makes me feel like, again, fucking Trump is a fucking character from Fallout. I swear to God. He's mutated, and you're telling me, okay, now, and Hank was transporting that reactor within him,
Yeah,
His neck,
and
yeah,
you
which is how it was introduced in the first place with
Michael
Benjamin
Emerson.
Linus. Yes, Michael Emerson.
and he didn't, and he didn't turn. It didn't fuck with him though.
Oh wait, I think we're talking about two different things. She's saying Hank had the miniature mind control thing in his neck,
No, no, no,
as
no,
opposed to
no,
the.
no, no. They didn't. Okay, so he had that thing. My bad. I'm forgetting the scene. So he had that in the case. That wasn't in him.
No,
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 that
he had
the
he
cold
had the
fusion
cold
was
fu-
in him. Yeah,
he had the cold fusion reactor in his neck, in the past, in the flashback, and that's
Yeah.
yeah.
when Cooper's wife helped him remove it from his neck, so Cooper could then take the cold fusion reactor and give it to Clancy Brown,
Okay.
who
So
we
so what I'm
then later found out that Clancy Brown is a member of the Enclave.
of course now,
Yeah.
and you're still telling me that Hank is human
Yes.
Yeah. What else would he be?
and not
Yeah,
altered in any way.
because when Michael Emerson had the thing in his neck, it didn't do anything to him.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right
the only
then.
reason he got his head chopped off was because his fucking leg was all fucked up, and he wasn't going to make it the however many miles they had to go.
Yeah,
Okay. All right then. All right.
which
So
I mean, I thought that was fucking funny. He was like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah, just chop my head off and take my head the rest of the way."
yeah,
It's like,
like
"Oh, as you do." It's like, "What?"
it's like,
I'm saying they put the guilt. I'm telling you that this right here is gonna be. I feel like if they don't put the big swerve on this in season 3, they fuck this up. They fuck this up for no payoff. They back. I feel like they put themselves into a corner in season 3 for a swerve. There's got to be a swerve.
Look, the main villain in season 3 is going to be the Enclave. I'm certain of it.
But is she a part of the Enclave?
Who is the Canadian woman?
Barbara.
no, she's not. She because remember that scene where
Oh,
Michael Emerson, who worked for the Enclave, intimidated her.
Yeah,
He was
he
clearly
intimidated
working
her.
for the Enclave at that point. Remember in the elevator scene?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and Tim, but now all of a sudden
Well,
she's
less intimidated and more put the gave her an injection of reality, I guess.
okay. Please refresh me. What's the injection of reality that you felt like she was given?
Basically, he said, like, don't fuck around. You're just a small part in this machine, just like me. So he had been sent there by someone to say that, to tell her
Probably Clancy Brown, because Clancy
that.
Brown
Probably,
gets
yeah.
around.
Clancy Brown. Yes, I'm sorry. Clancy Brown gets around. Is that better? Is that better than the other one?
You're in the 80s, so you're doing better.
Yeah, it's a good time for thrash.
But I'm just gonna say
I can just see it now. Devin Townsend doing a song like that.
I'm like I said, I just
Did
really
you listen
feel
to that
like
Badgers cover I sent?
Yeah, I listened to it.
it's it's
And
so
I was
great.
like, "Holy shit, he did a Badgers fucking cover! What the
Yeah,
fuck?"
right. Just then when they're recording the album, they're like, "Hey, like, got a spare couple of minutes? You want to do this?" Yeah, the heaviest version of Badger, Badger, Badger you've ever heard.
Oh my god. What the hell? I sent that to a group of friends of mine. They didn't respond to it, but I'm sure they got a kick out of it.
How could you not?
So I just want to get a clear cut stance on you guys. So do you guys feel like that, that the reactor should have, that the cold fusion should have, should have went into Robert House's hands and not Vault Tech, at all?
That actually, like, sidetrack here.
Hmm.
When do you think this takes place? Do you think this takes place before the New Vegas game, during, or after?
It would be after, for sure.
Really? Because Robert
Yeah.
House was incapacitated during this time, and yet in New Vegas, you have the possibility of killing him.
Yeah, the tricky thing.
If this takes place
yeah.
after the New Vegas game, there's a lot of inconsistencies here. A lot.
And it's tricky because also what you're playing with is trying to do something where you're not treating any of the game endings as canon. These games that have multiple endings, so that I don't think there's any way to not get a little messy with certain things.
Yeah, if they're not treating any of the game endings as canon, I mean that is confusing as fuck. Then what is the canon ending?
See, this is and see, this is where we should definitely do some basically some critical thinking on this, because I'm feeling like let me put it to you this way. The way it was being set up, we were in there, we were spying right along with Coop. We were spying, and we heard her say about her idea to drop bombs, so that the vaults would be necessary. So people would be even the fear of it would get more people, but actually dropping a bomb or two would really get people feeling like they need to get one for sure. So do you feel like that conversation with the Enclave representative changed that? She wasn't going to do that anymore? Was she agreeing now to give the cold fusion over to the Enclave, and not go forward with their plan?
Because at that point she was considering fucking with the plan. So I guess the whole point of that was to sort of keep her on course.
On course.
But we see that she didn't go that way.
Only because Coop found out.
Yeah.
Only because Coop found out, and this was.
But I guess we didn't get the chance to see what that would have played out like had he not presented what he found.
Exactly.
Which at that point I'm saying, like, maybe she would have still tried to do what she started doing.
Okay. Well,
I think that's kind of why his character sort of turned around on her. You saw that it's like, okay, maybe you're not this evil cunt that I thought you were. Maybe there is actually,
you're missing the point. We're missing the point. We're missing the point. First episode, season 1. Why did those two? Why did the two fathers? Why did he say that? Coop was doing birthday parties?
Because he took the fall.
No.
So obviously there was some kind of public.
No, he said that. Nope. There's a word he said. There's a word he said, guys. No, he said it after. Why is he doing birthday parties to get money? Alimony.
Okay, I forgot about that.
So what does that mean?
They got a divorce.
Exactly. They got a divorce. He said, no. Think about it. No. You got to think about this like that. You got to think about the way they laid it out. He sacrificed himself and made it seem like he acted alone in that situation with the cold fusion. That he acted alone in that situation. Got arrested. She didn't. and then somehow along the way before these bombs drop, they get divorced.
That's what I
And
was going to
she's
say. Like, could that be a part of him taking the fall? They
mm,
had to get a divorce to further that separation.
mm,
Like, things
mm,
were still good, but it's like we can't be linked.
nah,
Like,
nah,
I
nah.
don't know. I mean, I think what Damien is saying like makes sense from a story standpoint.
Mm,
Like, I mean, because if they continue to be together, that would also put her, Barbara, under suspicion.
that's it. If she stays with him, it's like this is
Yeah,
still my husband. It just pushes more and more suspicion onto her.
it does. Yeah.
Further scrutiny.
Yep.
mm. Yeah,
It make
see,
it would put her under investigation for being a sympathizer.
this is a ripe swerve. Yeah, like I said, this is perfect. This will
Yeah.
be like this scenario is ripe for a swerve because you guys are actually rolling with it and feel like, yeah, this whole thing had to nah. There are people who have done things and they've stayed together. You know what I'm saying? Though there was a lot of backlash to it, and people are trying to make, you know what I'm saying, good again. Like I mean, it's all ego and bullshit, bro. It's like he took my money. Okay, you fucking, you know what I'm saying, bro. Like guys can never understand guys, but so either two things happen to why Cooper's there. Either two things happen. Either you hired him or your wife wanted to hire him and you hired him. One or the other. Either way, he's here. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not just taking your money because he just came here. You know what I'm saying? And you had to pay him. One between you and your wife. Either you deciding to hire him because that's what your kids wanted, or your wife wanted him because, you know what I'm saying, because it would be great for the kids, and you had to hire him regardless. And it's like if a guy can understand that, and if that was the case, a guy could understand what a guy might do for his wife. He's the pinko, but who fucking worked at Vault-Tec? Who was fucking working doing government, you know what I'm saying, with government contracts and everything like that? His fucking wife, but he's the pinko. You know what I'm saying? It just shows you it's really a critique and a referendum on the actual, you know what I'm saying, like 40s, 50s, and 60s to show you how that quote unquote age of innocence. Shows people being really naive and dumb a little bit. Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. Like, come the fuck on. And that's why everything happened the way it happened immediately, you know what I'm saying, after the party. Because they needed that bit of karma in the situation. You know, you know what I'm saying, immediately after their thoughts about somebody else and what they may have done. You know, like come the fuck on. This man, by the way, handed the Cold Fusion to, you know what I'm saying, the United States, you know what I'm saying, the United States president, and got arrested after that. I'm like, are we kidding? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we fucking kidding here? Like it just shows that there's a swerve here. Like why would either you have to be on the side of
Thank you,
like
Gino,
you
for your $2 super sticker.
wow. Like you almost have to be on the side of either why wouldn't she be in those chambers? Why wouldn't they be in those chambers? Or why would they be? Why would that even be a possibility at this point? How is she not ruined? How is she not already ruined in Vault-Tec with the government herself, regardless?
So you think it wouldn't be enough that she let him take the fall? Do you think they would have still been like, yeah, but you were fucking the guy, so you probably knew, so hit
And
the
she
bricks.
and she worked for Vault-Tec. So I mean, come on, man. I mean, what are we saying here? Like, what did he really? They probably really only got him for what? Like, having some sort of like some sort of like dangerous, you know what I'm saying, some sort of dangerous weapon of mass destruction at best. But he put it in the hand of the president, and no one's going to say that. But yeah, but of course, when I was sitting there looking at certain situations, like even in the first episode, because somebody actually claimed that they didn't see it. Like I don't understand how I'm watching certain things in the house, and people act like they weren't seeing when I was watching it. But it was like, it's weird. I know it was a while ago that we had went through the first season of Fallout, but that's part of the work of what I do on the show. So like, there's no way I'm kind of hiding away and watching it. It's a fun show. I feel like most people will enjoy that. So I just couldn't believe that people didn't see. So when I went back to that, I'm hearing that even in that first episode, you hear news reports like no one knows where the president is. At that point, I heard a news report that said that. And I'm like, wow. After seeing what I saw, I'm like, holy shit. So this is just like, man. And I just, you know what I'm saying? I just really think that it's, like I said, it's either why wouldn't she be there? Like, why is she like leaving? Why is she figuring that he would, like, it's weird, man. It's weird. How is she figuring that he would come there to seek her out?
That's love, man.
Okay, you guys are right for season 3. I swear, you guys are right
yeah,
for season 3.
Yeah,
Why am I not allowed to enjoy things?
Huh?
I'm not
it's
allowed to
good.
enjoy things. If I
You,
go
you
on
are
Twitter, it's
allowed.
just a bunch of people like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." Just fuck off.
like,
Like,
why
oh,
do
they
you
left
think I don't post
they,
anything on Twitter?
they left things open at the end of season 2. It's like, yeah, because there's going to be a season 3, and hopefully 4, 5, and maybe 6.
Well, we don't.
I
People
don't
bitch
expect
about
it
the
to go
dumbest
beyond
shit.
season 5. I don't.
No, like I think that's a good length for
Yeah.
things.
I mean,
I
it
I do
might go
I
to a
do agree
season
with the
6.
complaint. I feel like the show needs more episodes. I will say,
Yeah.
like they had so much going on this season that they even just longer episodes would have been helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I think like if they follow the same format as The Expanse, 6 seasons tops.
Which is for most shows, really, that's pretty ideal.
Yeah, 6
Like
seasons and then ending
or
after that.
even 3. Like it depends on the story you're telling. But I
Yeah.
think any more than 6, maybe 7, you're beginning to
Yeah,
things
but don't
start to go downhill.
pull a Supernatural where that show went on for 15 goddamn years.
But I mean,
Yeah.
that's biblical shit that we're dealing with there. I mean, I just don't know. That's kind of hard.
Biblical, but it was fucking after a certain point, it was just
That show
it
should have
felt
ended
like
after
it.
5 goddamn seasons.
What?
I'll give him a
Yeah.
couple more than that, but after a certain point, it was just repeating the same fucking thing over and over, and that's why I stopped watching.
The season 5 finale of Supernatural would have been a perfect ending for that show. It would have been.
It
And I
would have
think
been,
even
but
Eric Kripke said that he wanted to end the show after that.
yeah,
But
that was
then
his plan.
the
Was 5 seasons, yeah.
but then the executives at the CW were like, nope, we wanted to continue. So Eric Kripke decided to walk away and they kept him on as an executive consultant. And that is when Robert Singer took over as the showrunner. And they just kept going. And
And I will say they did
in
have some
season
great stuff, like
yeah,
for at
season
least a
6
little bit.
Season 6 became the show's worst season. I fucking hated season
Was
6.
that the one that like half of it took place in purgatory?
Kind of, I think.
Or
No,
maybe not half of
no,
it,
no,
but
no, no. That was season 8, I think. That was
where he
season
first
8.
met that the vampire guy.
No, that was season 8. That was definitely season
That
8.
was 8. Then what the fuck was 6?
Season 6 had them deal with the mother of all monsters. She was
Oh, the
Eve.
Lilith season.
No,
Eve.
no, Eve, and
That's right. Lilith was season 3, right?
yeah, when they brought in Eve, her introduction was like very cool, very like like scary, and it was like, oh, it's like, oh, we're gonna have a badass villain. Yeah, they killed her off 6 episodes later.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
oh
once,
my god, are you fucking killing me here? God damn it! And then the rest of the fucking season was a fucking civil war between Castiel and Raphael, the angels. That
yeah.
was the rest of the goddamn season. And I'm like,
What,
oh my god, enough of this shit. It's
what
like
was the season where Dean and King of Hell, what was his fucking name?
Crowley.
Crowley, where they became best friends for like a few episodes?
Shit. That
So I think Dean was possessed, or not possessed, but he wasn't himself. But that was some good shit. There was a scene where after he sort of got out of that, he was looking at a picture of them at a bar wearing cowboy hats, just having a great time. It was some
I
good
don't
shit.
remember
Like,
what season that was, but I do remember what you were talking about.
but yeah, like pretty much once they went all in on the heaven and hell stuff, that's when things started to take a downturn because it just felt so repetitive.
Yeah,
They
you want to
stopped
know?
doing a lot of the more like sort of singular interesting stuff, and it was just that constant same thing. It
Yeah,
just
and you
got
want to know
boring.
something interesting about that vampire friend that Dean had that came from Purgatory? The actor
Here's
that
the,
the actor that plays him,
hmm.
yeah, he's DJ Qualls' husband.
Yes, he is. He was
Yep,
also the like gay rapist in one of the seasons of Slasher.
yep, yep, yep. I remember that.
Yeah, like poor DJ Qualls asshole. Like, goddamn.
Yep. Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah. Oh man, it's just like, oh
No, I mean
man.
in real life, DJ
No, no,
Qualls is
no. I
a tiny
remember
fella
it was the fucking it was the fucking season second season of Slasher. The second season of Slasher.
at the what do you call it?
The mountain retreat.
Yeah, mountain retreat with all the hippie people.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, he had the guy in the school bus, the abandoned
Yeah,
school bus, and yeah, that whole craziness happened. That was rough to watch.
it
It's like,
was.
oh my god, man.
All right. Awesome shares. And I wanted to
Stone,
check in
thoughts
with
on butt stuff? Thumbs
say
up,
what?
thumbs down.
Say what?
Never mind.
What the fuck, Damian?
Never mind it.
Oh my god. That is wrong on so many levels.
So thumbs down from you, Charles?
Yes, thumbs down.
Okay.
All righty. I want to get your thoughts on something, guys.
Okay.
That grave that Coop was in, that those guys had to dig him out of.
Hmm.
How you suppose he got there?
He was put in there by it was like
I
some
defer.
kind of like cartel boss or like whatever the post-apocalyptic equivalent is. They called him like Don. I think they called him Don something. Some like Don Gutierrez or something. Like there was a name. I'm just blanking on it, but it was something like that.
Because I'm just trying to figure this out because I truly believe that like I think what the first two seasons have been showing us, I think what the first season showed us was that the people in the vault were being lied to in many different ways. That continued to reveal itself in season two. But
I mean, that's every vault. All
say
the
again?
vaults are. Every vault is some kind of experiment.
Yep.
But the thing is, yeah, the experiment is one thing. The lies are another. You know what I'm saying? Like with Lucy, see, Lucy is the physical representation. See, we have to look at everything as symbolic to a certain other thing. Like Lucy is symbolic of the lies that they were told overall. The first thing is that she believed that where they were living was actually an organic, sunny place, not a stage set that they set up for them. You know,
Oh, no,
so
I think they all understood that.
she understood that always.
I think they all did. Yeah. I
just
think
never.
like just the base fact that you're living underground in a vault. I think everybody understands that
Not see.
because
There's everybody. There's
there's the promise.
everybody.
There's all that the promise of returning to the surface
But see,
someday.
there's everybody, and then there's Lucy. But okay, you know what I'm saying. But okay, I get it. All
So,
right.
so everybody else knows, but she's a wide-eyed dipshit.
Sometimes, I mean,
Well, yeah, sometimes, yeah, but like they all are in that. Like they're all what is it?
no,
They're all brought up with the.
Steph is definitely not, Steph
Well,
was
yeah, but
never a wide
that's
eyed
different
dipshit.
though. She's not. She's not your typical vault resident.
She wasn't
Everybody
born
else,
there. She wasn't born there,
no,
which I didn't realize
exactly.
how important that was. I didn't realize how important that was when it came to these vaults.
No,
I
she's a
thought,
filthy Canadian.
whatever, man. I thought,
They basically said as much in the show.
yeah, that's
Canadian.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, whatever. I leave that to the show. But what I'm talking about is how I felt like they always made it seem like people escape to the vault, and like so everybody and this is over a period of but the thing that's crazy about me is that he said that she's like 200 years old.
Well, that's the thing you got to remember. Like this has been 200 years of people living in these vaults. That's why they have the whole like at a certain point they have to instate the no incest rule because it's like okay we can do it. It's cool for a little bit, but at a certain point we have serious problems. We can't be doing that anymore. Like it might work a little. Like it's mostly okay for a little while, but eventually everybody's going to have severe problems.
Okay, but give me a second. Okay, Steph, of course, is not Lucy's mother.
See, I'm suspicious of that.
What do you mean? Because there was somebody who seemed to be playing Lucy's mother when they had those days in the sun. Remember?
Yeah.
Dark hair. She had dark hair if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then it's also like oh, it's just a thought I had that maybe that's a possibility. Just
But
given
what I'm saying is when I remember those scenes that she would talk about where it was made to look like they were outside and it was a sunny day and everything was so great looking and she was out there with her mother. But he's supposed to be married. But her father Hank is supposed to be married to Steph. I'm just saying it's something's off here. Something's off here is what is all I'm saying. A lot.
And then we don't fully know how this guy's been playing his game these last couple hundred years. Like maybe he does reactivate himself every so often, do some seed planting, and then goes back to bed.
Are you talking about Mr. House?
No, we're talking about Hank McClain. Hank McClain is almost. I mean, you almost have to say like, even though he was seemingly working for Vault-Tec, he seems to be the right hand of Robert House.
I
don't know about that because remember what I said.
But he's not though, because he's furthering
he's furthering his technology.
Yeah, but remember what I said at the beginning of the show. I think who he was talking to on the intercom or the radio was not Mr. House. I think he was talking to the Enclave.
Okay, cool, but he's still furthering Robert House's technology.
And I think the Enclave hijacked Mr. House's technology.
Oh, see, that's so convenient.
Oh, yeah, but sometimes, all right, here, listen to this. Sometimes the simplest answer is the correct answer.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's fucking damn it! What's that thing?
Like they're all like they're all in cahoots, and they're they're all in cahoots, and they're all just and they're all just weaving certain people. You know what I'm saying? Just a certain things like pieces on a chessboard. That's what I'm starting to feel like. At the very least,
they're playing 4D chess.
At the very least, I feel like the Enclave by you have to look at everything as a physical representation. The United States president represents the enclaves, you know what I'm saying? The enclave has now interwoven themselves into the US government. Vault-Tec was a corporation working mainly off of government contracts.
Yeah. So you're saying that they're going to they have intertwined or interconnected?
A lot of what's happening is them cross connecting and collaborating. Vault-Tec people and these enclave people in secret working with the government, which is essentially enclave. When you have the main figurehead of the government, the president, as somebody who basically took the cold fusion, dropped you know what I'm saying, and basically got out of fucking sight while a bunch of fucking bombs were dropped on the fucking country. I mean, the only person who seems to be on the outs in the situation is Robert House. Yeah, it may not so much been hijacked, but it was like he even said that he has certain things put in place for Vault-Tec. You know what I'm saying? And their vaults and everything like that. So there was a lot of intertwining going on, and somehow, some way, things fell out. But I'm telling you, it's some weird sort of cross connection going on here. Not just hijack. It's this war and that war. I think that's a sucker play. You know what I'm saying? Now maybe it may be real with the New California Republic and the Legion. You know, and whatever plan Macaulay Culkin's character got by basically inserting himself as a new leader at this point, you know, whatever is going to happen there. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a big sucker play by Vault-Tec and the Enclave. And then somehow Robert House felt the need to take the time to lead him there. And I feel like all the time knowing that they weren't going to be there. Just to be able to sit on his arm and make him feel guilty about everything that's happened. Which is why where's my family? Because he's feeling responsible for this whole situation. Not her. I knew they had did something to change the tide of this. That's why that's why it seemed like he had more feeling for her than what he should have. Because basically he's being made to look responsible for everything that's happened. Not only the promotion of the vaults, but also getting the cold fusion into the wrong hands. And they ended up bombing. They ended up doing what he was trying to prevent. But the truth of the matter is, no matter whose hand he put that into, it would have fucking happened. In my opinion, is there a small possibility that maybe not in Robert House's hands? But
to be honest,
small.
I think in House's hands, I think not. Like, out of all the options, I think House was the least likely.
The least likely, but not likely. See, that's the thing.
No,
There's
not completely unlikely, but I just don't see it.
Not now, of course. He's more of an entity that has to exist through the technology now. As you've seen, you know, as you've seen in these last, you know what I'm saying, this last episode, he's more of an entity that has to exist through that way, you know. But like, what do you guys feel like the purpose for leading him to that vault? And I feel like in my mind, he knew they weren't going to be there. I feel like he wanted time to talk to him, see if he can.
I don't know that he knew for certain. Just because this is a guy that runs on possible outcomes rather than knowing, because he even admits there's people who were ahead of him.
On certain things. Yes.
On certain but very important things.
But yeah,
he doesn't know everything. He doesn't claim to know everything.
But the things he knows, but the thing he knows. But just because he doesn't know the big thing because somebody else is playing on a different chessboard doesn't mean that means, oh, he didn't know that they weren't going to be there. The way he said it, the way he even said it, you rolled the dice and you know what I'm saying? It was just to make him feel more downtrodden, more you know what I'm saying, try to lock him into whatever mission he wanted to put him on. You know what I'm saying? I think.
And that's the thing, like whether he, like, you know, I mean, the man he sits atop a casino, so I guess ultimately everything's a gamble. That could have worked. I mean, yeah, there's a few there's multiple outcomes there. Like, you could have the pods are empty. The guy will continue to work with me because this is what he's got going for him. There's the outcome we saw, which is the pods are empty, but he's going off doing his own thing. Then there's the pods
only because
and it doesn't work. Like, it's a gamble.
Nah, only because there's this weird. He goes off on his own only because there's this weird clue that was left in Barbara's, you know what I'm saying, in Barbara's chamber that, you know what I'm saying, that's leading him to believe that she may be in Colorado and everything like that, which is weird to me, which makes me feel like that she's a part of whatever's going on with whatever's perpetuating everything, and she knew, and she was keeping tabs on his status. I feel like she was keeping tabs on his status. Why?
Definitely possible.
Somebody, come on, bro. And all of these years, somebody had to know he was exposed. Either he was going to be a feral, either he was going to be a feral monster out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gone. You know what I'm saying? Gone. You know what I'm saying? Gone to any possibility of being the same person that he was before, or he's going to be close to that, or dead. You know what I'm saying? So, there's no way that she thought that he would still be alive, that he would still be coherent enough to want to seek them out and find them, and then put a clue about where to go next, unless she or she has someone keeping up. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, things are going to prove that Hank was definitely big on the assist when it came to Barbara. You know, I'm not sure if it was always him, but I just feel I wouldn't be surprised if it was him that was helping her, that was keeping tabs on him for her. Someone had to be, because that clue is there to lead him. But how does she know? How does she know that he would get there? How does she know there was even a possibility that he could get there? That he was even looking.
Yeah. It's love, man.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It always
no,
comes
that is
back
a good,
to love.
You're married and
That
I'm
is
not. You're married and I'm not. And that should let people know that's the epitome of bullshit. I'm not even saying that.
Wait,
I'm married. No,
Man.
I'm married. You're not.
You said you're married and I'm not.
Nah. Well, if I did, excuse me. I'm married. You're not married. That's the epitome of bullshit. Somebody says love, man. No, I love my ass. You know what I'm saying? Love doesn't trump science.
Wait. Hold
unless-
on. Let me see if I heard that correctly. Did you just say I love my ass?
He certainly did.
Yeah.
No.
Are you married to your ass?
Okay. Alrighty.
I don't think it was official.
No, you know what? I mean, hey. I mean, you know what? I mean, I guess I could be. I mean, after all, I do shows with them, so I mean, why am I not marry one?
You do shows with your ass? Was it just you be like, what do you think, ass? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I got, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a number of asses detachable, you know what I'm saying? One white, you know what I'm saying? And one part criminal.
Have you seen a doctor about that?
I don't know. Charles. Have we seen a doctor about it?
Why am I being included in this?
Well, you are my ass, number one.
Okay, no, it's not a doctor. It's a psychiatrist you need to see.
You are my ass, number one, and your ass, number two.
Why am I your ass?
I do. You say I do shows with my ass, so I guess you guys are my asses.
No, you said it. We just repeated it.
Okay, now
Yeah,
I am confused. What is happening right now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Let's clear all the bullshit and get back to what I was saying, which was, you know what I'm saying? Which was, I think that she's been keeping tabs on him, and it's ain't about fucking love. Love is not Trump science. You know what I'm saying? Unless she knows there's a possibility that he could still be alive and still roaming and still looking. You know what I'm saying? This is just basically a lead on to basically setting him up. You know, honestly, I mean, either way, see, he's pissed, but he's pissed at what he thinks are the architects of this whole situation. He thought he was doing the right thing. Now he wants to get to the enclave. He wants to, you know what I'm saying? He wants to do all of that. He's committed, like you guys, to thinking that she's not a part of all of this. But like I said,
I don't know that for sure. I never said that.
But that's why I feel like
every time I said it's love, I was fucking around.
Oh, of course. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Should I be more whimsical about that? I apologize. I thought my sarcasm was present in that, but I'm sorry. Maybe I need to be more whimsical with it. I'm sorry. So my sarcasm is a little bitey sometimes. I thought you knew that, but I can be more whimsical with the sarcasm. But of course, yes. That's why I said it was bullshit. Like I'm married. He's not. Like, so that whole love thing, we know that he's just saying that. Like he's just saying that. Like, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know that's just playing around. That's what I thought I was getting to, but no problem. I can be more whimsical. But
like, I'm probably missing things. I'm fucking tired.
we're about to we're getting to that. We're getting to that 2:00 spot. So we're getting to that 2 hour spot, excuse me. So
yeah, it's nearly a 5 a.m. spot.
For you, yes, absolutely. But I was saying that's why I tried to change it up and say we're getting to the 2 hour spot in our showtime. But basically, I do feel like that in this time frame, with him being exposed, not in the vault, there's no way that she could think that in any way, as a thinking woman, you know what I'm saying, high up in the corporation, that he's still alive. That's just plain simple and plain. Unless someone has confirmed that in the very horrifying way that he's alive, but he's alive as a ghoul, a functioning ghoul, but a ghoul nonetheless. You know, so, you know,
that person could potentially be House, because I mean, he did instantly recognize him
because
as soon as he popped up on screen. He sees this ghoul, and he's like, "Well, hello, old chum." He recognized him
because you really feel like he's that different from what, you know what I'm saying, from what he was as Coop.
He's pretty different. He's pretty different.
I mean, although much browned, that smile hadn't completely gone away, huh?
No, but he's also missing a nose. He looks almost nothing like he used to look. Like, we know because we know, but like,
but that voice.
Would you add like yeah, but I think he said anything before the ghoul did. It's just he popped up on screen, saw him, and then was like, "Oh, hello, old chum." Like, this guy I recognize. I think it might I get he's a genius, but I feel like it would take most people, even a genius, at least a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds, sort of just get a bit of a read and be like, okay, I think I get it now.
But he was super rich too, man. So we got to stop acting like super rich people are like us, and they would be able to process and get and obtain information at the same rate that we get it. We have to suspend that. When we're talking about the rich, even the basic rich can get access to things, you know, more quickly, more quickly than we can. And we're talking about super rich guys like House. I mean, it's who knows, and that's also smart. Again, we're nerds. We're nerds here. We're talking about Iron Man here. You know, we're talking about essentially Iron Man. Like, look at what Iron Man was able to do in a cave with just some spare parts. I mean, it's like you can say that, but you're talking about a guy with a brain that thinks on a certain level. He always needs to explain that to people. You know, so it's just like, I just feel like the access to information that people have in these super rich spaces, that we have to look at it that way too. That it's not the same way that we get it. It's not the same way. It doesn't circulate the same way it circulates to us. We get it late. They get it first. They get it before. Sometimes, most times, You know, they're the ones disseminating the information itself. They're the ones who control how much gets out and how much doesn't. You know, we have to understand all of that. And I just feel like she's leading them to a spot for whatever reason to basically, because he's going to take it to whoever it leads to, whoever the situation leads to. Because maybe he's feeling a certain way, maybe he's believing in this certain thing. But I'm sorry, man. If I see one of you guys, like let's just put it that way,
one of your asses.
Like if I hear one of you guys talking about, you know, shooting kids, man, like discussing shooting kids as a possibility to send a message. Just saying.
You take it that way, damn.
I mean, okay. Let's just say, let's take it back. Let's just say you're going to go out and club baby seals, and I heard that, and I heard you saying that.
Poison the water supply. Come on.
Poison the water supply. You still talking about killing people, but anyway.
Yeah, but
you're the one talking about clubbing baby seals. What the fuck?
Yeah, like make it more general. Goddamn.
Okay, but look. I'm sorry. Look, at least the female guys. Look, think about this for a second. The British female was willing to take giving kids cancer, you know, to basically get a pipeline. She was willing to deal with that. I mean, of course, she was going to keep it a secret, but she had to do it, though.
Oh,
I'm just
now
saying.
You're going back to the critically acclaimed show, You.
Yes, the critically acclaimed Netflix show. No,
Thank you.
Oh my God!
No,
see, I watched enough of that final season to know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh my God!
No, I have to, you know, and I have to add something on now. So we do have the critically acclaimed Netflix show, which is rare to see nowadays. You.
Oh my God! I still won't watch that show. Oh my God!
I wouldn't expect you to.
But no, but
you tried. I'll give you credit. You tried. Not very hard, but you tried, yeah. And that's what counts.
But like I said, it's just saying, like, I just really fucking just feel like, man, I just really feel like we're in for a big swerve. I really feel like we're just really in for a big ass swerve. Seriously.
Okay,
really
fine.
Do.
Okay, fine. I'll bite. What swerve do you think we're going to go in? Well, like, what direction do you think the swerve is going to go in?
That she's part of the final boss shit. That all of this shit she knew about. Every bit of it. In what world would she not be think about it, guys. The more I think about it now, in what world would she not be handcuffed regardless of what he said? She works for Vault-Tec. In what world would she not be handcuffed?
How was in a world where he says it was me? Everything was me.
Yeah, and that just, you see, now you tell me what that is. Now you tell me, is that because Coop said it? Or is that because a white man said it?
Both?
I think it's because...
And that doesn't play into racism?
I think it's because of what he did with the cold fusion diode, giving it to the president.
But he wouldn't have got access.
They saw him as a threat.
Nah, they wouldn't have got access.
That's the thing, because you got to think, what are they getting him on? It could be all sorts of shit.
But he wouldn't have got access to it if not for Barbara. You guys cannot glaze over that. He does not get access to that cold fusion if not for his wife.
But no one knows that.
That's bullshit. She works for fucking Vault-Tec.
Yeah, but how could they know that she was directly involved?
Like I keep trying to tell you.
Okay, Damian, I'm gonna have to side with Stone on this. Coop,
how dare you?
Yeah, how dare I? I'm such an asshole.
Yeah.
But Coop is just an actor. So how would he even know about the cold fusion diode?
Because he's been working with Pinkos.
Bro, come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Bro. What are you doing here?
No,
What are
no,
you
no.
doing
The
here?
thing is that how would, like, sure, he's married to somebody who's connected to Vault Tech, but there is another way that he would have been able to know about it. His connection to Moldaver.
Okay, knowing
Yeah,
about it
Pinkos.
and being able to get it in your hands are two different things, though.
Yeah.
Knowing about it and being able to get it in your hands are two different things. The only way he gets that in his hands is through his wife. Okay, we're doing a show, big boy. Be right back, okay? Go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. But that's the only way he gets access to that is through Barbara. That's the only way he gets it in his hands. Only way. It's through her. There's no world except for a world that the Enclave controls where she doesn't get handcuffed, bro. I'm telling you, especially in the actual fucking 50s or 60s. There's no way she is not getting handcuffed right along with him, regardless of what the fuck he says.
But he was like 9/10 of the way there before she even turned up.
What are you talking about?
Like he had the guy up in the room.
He's already resourceful on his own. He's not just an actor. He also has experience in that type of
Like she
covert
ultimately
operation.
showed him the way to get the thing, but he was already
But it's
like,
but
as
Hank
far
is
as he
her.
could get.
But Hank is her assistant, bro. I'm sorry that's just plain old detective work. You know what I'm saying? He knows Hank has the cold fusion how because Barbara knows. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to get access and Hank's trust. Why? Because he's Barbara's husband, bro. She would be fucking handcuffed. You got to stop. She would be fucking handcuffed. There's no world except one that the Enclave controls that would make it that she would not get handcuffed in that same situation and carried off right along with Coop. No fucking way. And the only way they would make that happen for her is because she's working with them, and they just wanted to see where his head was. They had contingency. I feel like my prediction is that the Enclave had contingency plans for this sort of thing. She just wanted to
Oh, they
see
got
where he was.
contingencies for everything.
So they had a contingency for this.
I have a theory, and this goes with what you're saying, Stone. What if she's the one that ratted out her husband?
It doesn't even have to be that. It's once he confronted her with the information, they're putting things in play. So it's like, yeah,
I mean, as we say, they're always listening to everything.
Bro,
Quite literally, it seems like everything.
She was completely take the Congresswoman. She was completely against Vault Tech and completely against corporate interests getting into the government. That meant Vault Tech. She probably hadn't, but I believe she also did she mention the Enclave?
I don't think so, but maybe.
But anyway, I think she's mentioned. I think she really mentioned how much did he really know about Vault Tech, or you know what I'm saying, really when she was talking to Coop anyway. But look at what they did to her. Look at what they end up doing to her. You know, and bro, it just shows you right there that it wasn't about what Coop did. It was about what she already fucking knew. All this stuff was in the play. They knew about all of this. They knew about all of it. The Enclave was controlling the whole chessboard. When the moment that she called in to get a meeting with the president, it was done. She didn't have to do shit. Barbara didn't have to do anything. But let them know that, you know what I'm saying, Coop, that Coop is, you know what I'm saying, is in on the other shit. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else that was done, they were controlling the chessboard. They had it all under control. The FBI, everybody, whatever was going on, they had it all under control. And it was, and he was the sucker. He was the pawn in all of this. He was made He was made to look like that he committed this was all his fault. She's in the clear. She's made, you know what I'm saying, that because that's what he was thinking he was doing for her in his mind. But the whole thing was making him look like a complete doof. It was a sucker play, and the only person who didn't know was him and the congresswoman. They were both of them were getting played. The Enclave had control of this whole situation. Plain and simple. Had it all under control. Hank is even speaking to that later on in the show. Later on in the other episode, he's speaking to this. He is speaking to these situations. He's her assistant. They're all a part of the Enclave. She's a part. How is Hank a part of the Enclave and she's not? It's that's bullshit, bro. She's a part of the fucking Enclave, and she probably always was. That meeting that she had with the representative, that, like I say, everything is a physical representation of something. He is a physical representation of the Enclave and her acknowledgement of their existence. And her working with and her interweaving herself as an executive in Vault-Tec. This is all there. All this was a sucker play to make him feel like it was all his fault. He put it in the wrong people's hands when it didn't matter whose hands he put it in. Maybe Robert House would be different, but somehow I don't think so, because why would he have anything put in place in Vault-Tec's vaults if he wasn't working with them in some kind of way? They're all interweaving, but certain things started to happen and they couldn't trust each other, or they wanted a bigger piece of the pie. That's why I instituted the alien Earth theory. It's the Weyland-Yutani versus Prodigy versus, and everybody wants a bigger piece. It just turns out in that story, Weyland-Yutani and Prodigy wanted a bigger piece of the pie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's the same way with, but see, Vault-Tec and Enclave are one thing. Robert House now, they're like, I guess now they had a falling out. So it's like Robert House versus Vault-Tec and Enclave, with the backing and the disguising of the American government. As such it is, whatever, because you know, I'm pretty sure it's going to include the president, because before any of the bombs got dropped, he was out of sight. No one could find him. So he's still the existing sitting president. And because now there's no one's talking terms now. I don't even think.
No, I would wager not.
Constitution is a thing of the past. So he emerges as the Enclave, well, as the president of the United States, but an Enclave representative. I mean, you know, Robert House is the one last bastion of like rich corporate guy that was sort of like independent of the government. Vault-Tec was sort of like the government corporation, and the Enclave are the people behind the curtain.
Well, they certainly are, because you you meet one of the say main villain, but a big character in parts of Fallout 3, the game, was the new president of the United States, who was played by Malcolm McDowell.
Eden.
Eden, who was the head of the Enclave.
And okay, so we start to get more. Okay, see that's what I'm talking about, man. And I feel like the swerve is that he's gonna find out that Barbara is definitely high up in the Enclave, and that everything that he thought was his fault, everything that he thought was him making a misstep, a miscalculation, and doing the right thing, which was never. It was a. How can I put it? It was a fucking rigged test. No answer was going to be correct. maybe Robert House, but because I still have some trust.
Again, like I think I said it earlier, but if I'm going to point to anyone as being the quote unquote right choice or the correct choice, I would pick him.
Those devices give me pause. Those devices where he sought to control people remotely, they gave me pause, bro. I mean that's always going to make me wary of a guy that will want to do that to other human beings. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That would make me wary.
Oh, yeah, like
that.
Like you can't sort of discount that. But this is a sort of weird, genius guy who's dabbling in all sorts of technology. So
yeah,
who's to say if, like that? Who's to say if maybe after that first test, that obviously extreme test, but if he didn't just it could have been a contract or something that he ultimately sold to the government. No, I'm not trying to be like he's a good guy because he just tested it and gave it away.
But Damian,
you know what I'm trying to say?
I do, and you have to understand, and I reference Independence Day, and the moment where the president goes down to Area 51, right, and he's talking to the head scientist, and he's showing them everything that's happened since the aliens arrived and everything like that, and it's been how it has been really exciting. And he's like, "Do you understand how many people out there have been killed? Exciting is not the word I choose to describe it. It's like I get it under different circumstances, it might be exciting, but think about the weight of what the fuck is going on before you say it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, bro, it's like I get what you're saying that this guy's he's a very genius mind, and he thinks of all possibilities of how things could work and how things can be done and manipulated. But I still say, you might want to stop short of thinking you can put an actual battery in people's fucking back and make them move for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, my bro, that's not where we want to go. You know what I'm saying? It says something weird about you that you want to go that you want to go in that direction. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I get that you may be a genius mind, but where's it? But somehow that's where people often say we're genius and insanity is kind of like a really fine line.
That's it. It's a fine line, and they often intersect.
Sometimes, but sometimes people have to know, when to step in with a guy like that, because you cannot be thinking that because your mind thinks of it. Yeah, I should create a module that will make people that will automate people at my, under my remote control. Like that. That's just not, no. That makes me worry about a guy like you. It makes me worry about what a guy like you could do with cold fusion and technology that'll be able to, allow you to do things without certain, without having to rely on certain things. You can just make it in great population. I worry about a guy like you. Yes, you could worry about the Enclave and Vault-Tec a little bit more, but how much? But at the end of the day, the truth is, like we're saying about Barbara, Vault-Tec didn't drop the bombs. But in my opinion, if Vault-Tec is actually in cahoots with fucking the Enclave, they did still technically. In their own way, they still did. They just did it. They just made Coop think that somebody else did it. The people he put in the wrong hands, the wrong people, and they did it. Not Vault-Tec, not his wife and the company she worked for. The other people did it. But he is not realizing. He's going to realize, in my opinion, in the third season, that they still did it.
Good possibility.
Because I'm sorry, once you hear your own wife,
just pause it for a second. Good morning, Kish. Gotta say good morning, Kish.
How you doing, Gandalf the Weird? Good to see your image.
Good morning, Kish, or afternoon, Kish.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's morning, evening for me, so I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, it's afternoon for me.
And that's the proper way to go.
You kind of threw me off with your whole morning Kish thing.
And that's the proper way to go with that. That's the proper way, folks. Just so we're clear, that's the proper way.
I can't even do that with my hand.
And you're not on camera, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the proper way. But yeah, man, I just feel like yeah, he's gonna get a real. Oh my god! I mean, he's gonna get like a sledgehammer like shot to the nuts when he realized how bad he's been swerved by his own wife.
Yeah, I don't
making
envy
him
that.
believe making him believe that he was making some great sacrifice for her. And if you're right, if she actually convinced him that them divorcing what was or him or him believing that he was making this great sacrifice for her, and him thinking that that would be the way to go, and stuff like that, only to realize that it was all just a play to make him believe that it was all his fault, that his wife was not a bad person. She was willing to do the right thing. And look, he put it in the wrong people's hands and they bombed the country. They made it so we are living like this. Not the people that I work for, these other people you handed it to. And then to find out that all this time later that it was that you were still working with these people. If, like I said, if not enough, we got our confirmation with the Michael Emerson character. You guys are talking about the representative of the Enclave. That should say, and your takeaway is that he was trying to keep her on task. You know, I think it's all either that was all for our benefit or all for the benefit of misdirection, making us believe that, oh yeah, we're trying to keep you in, but then she had a crisis of conscience and decided that she would go with her husband's plan and do this, and look what happened. He ended up being screwed up anyway, and they ended up bombing. And look, see, it's your fault. All of this was you, not her. I'm like, nah. He's gonna find out. He's gonna find out now where his daughter's gonna fit into all of this. I don't know. Maybe that might be the biggest reveal of all that may still show itself. Who knows? You know, but I know for Barbara, my prediction, she's definitely somewhere high up in this. She's definitely somewhere high up in this. You know, she's.
I'll
I
be
mean,
intrigued to see.
how valuable? Think about it. How valuable was she for the government and for Voltec? The Enclave is a secret. You know, is a secret group behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
So the government is, of course, is ever present, and corporations are ever present. What I felt like Barbara did was by having Coop do this whole thing and make this great sacrifice, she ended up making Vault-Tec look like they had nothing to do with the bombing, made the government look like they had nothing to do with the bombing, and that basically some other organization that was even ahead of one of the richest men in the country caused all of these bombings. She's an MVP.
Well, even because I think the official word from memory is that China dropped the bombs.
Okay, even
The
better.
official
Even
word.
even better. Enclave stays secret.
Yeah.
Enclave stays secret. Government still looks like they were swerved by another competing country. The corporation that she worked for looks like they, you know what I'm saying? The Cold Fusion wasn't even in their hands. It was given over to somebody else. Blah, 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 blah. Like I said, she's an MVP. She's a fucking MVP.
Yeah.
And all she had to do was sacrifice her husband, and he got to take all the, you know what I'm saying, all of the pun intended fallout. She has
Oh,
Roll credits.
she has their daughter. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Who knows? You know, so who knows how much time she had to indoctrinate her? You know, possibly. Who knows? But I do believe that Barbara is one of the bad guys, for sure.
hopefully we don't have to wait too long to at least get something resembling an answer, because I think they're filming starting filming in May, I think, season 3. So, God willing, we might see it roughly the same time this year,
But I
or
knew it, man.
very early next year.
Yeah.
But I knew it, man. I knew there was something that was that had changed, that softened him on her. You know what I'm saying? Like because of course, thinking about it from the lens of Vault Tech caused these bombings. So she was, and she was the architect. She was the one who came up with the light bulb idea. So it's like he's got to hate her. He's got to, you know what I'm saying? She's got their daughter. You know what I'm saying? She's absconded somewhere. He's got to hate her. But everything was just telling me that he didn't hate her as much as I would hate my wife if she would have did that to me. You know, so yeah. Now we know what that was, but yeah, that's gonna be quite a thing when it comes back. That she just completely fucking swerved them out. You know, it's. I wonder what that does. That's gonna be something. That's gonna be a tough situation to deal with. Honestly, in my prediction, you know, their daughter in the middle of this, she, you know what I'm saying, she basically, I mean, completely mind fucked him and had him suffering all this time. Thinking he had to make something
fucking years.
Thinking he had to make something right by her, by them. And you know, and it turns out that she was yet again still the architect of all of this. I mean, a big part of it, because I mean the Enclave is still the Enclave. I don't think she's the Enclave, but I believe she's definitely a big part of their assistance. You know, for sure, at the very least. And she knew how to play and manipulate, and she knew how to play and manipulate her husband and everything like that. And I just think that he just thought that he was doing the right thing, going by the right, and they just, and she made him feel like that. I mean, and I don't understand how he couldn't be confused. How he wasn't confused by that. Wouldn't you have been? You thought you were putting it into the right person's hands, the United States president, and you immediately come back to being arrested? Wouldn't you be confused?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
A little bit?
Maybe a little bit.
And the president's not trying to get you out of this? Like, good God. You got people, your name's been dragged down. No one wants to, no one touches you, none of that. And you know what I'm saying? And you suffer through all of this, all the way up to the bombings happening. The president fucks off. No one knows where he is. It's just like, I just don't understand how he's not thinking about any of this. Like, why would that happen that way? Why would that happen? I mean, to me, it's not. No, you know what? And I'm not going to say that. It's not obvious. It's really not obvious. It's really quite good. It's really quite slick and quite good. Because, I mean, like, fucked up.
Well, and to that point, like, to why he still thinks the way he does, there's very likely events we haven't seen yet that makes him still keep this demeanor that he has.
No,
about why he's doing the things he does.
No, I totally believe. I totally believe that what happened is enough. She was willing to go with his plan. You know, she was willing to go with his plan. The way it's played out, it looks like it didn't work out. His plan didn't work out. Now he's being arrested. You know what I'm saying? And she could be brought into, so he's making this grand sacrifice that you didn't have anything to do with this. I acted alone and everything like that because she was willing to do the right thing, it seemed. And he goes along. And if there was any thought, any conversation that maybe the best thing for them would be to divorce, so that, you know what I'm saying, so that basically it would basically still drive the suspicion away from her. It would just be, you know, I just feel like that was enough. I feel like all of this, everything, this would be enough I don't think anything else had to happen to soften him. He feels like it was because of him. He put the cold fusion in the wrong people's hands, and this is what ended up happening. He doesn't blame her. It's completely obvious that he doesn't blame, that he's not blaming her for this now. So I don't think, and I truly don't believe that anything else has to happen in order for him to get there. I believe her willingness to give him the cold fusion, for him to put it in the president's hands, for him to trust that congresswoman, that because she's really serious about keeping corporations and corruption out of the government, that she was going to put it in the right hands. She had no idea who the president actually was, who the president actually was representing. She had no idea either.
I don't know, if she did, she wouldn't end up a fucking head in a jar.
Of course. So, so they were the only,
whatever the fuck.
They were the only two that had the best intentions in this situation. They were the only two. And basically, and I truly don't, and I say the only two, and I truly do not believe that Barbara was unknowing in this situation. And I do not believe that there's any world in a situation like this where the basic detective work, she would be arrested. Right along with Coop. Basic detective work would get her arrested. There's no way he doesn't gain access. He can conspire and believe with who he wants to, but the only way you gain access is basically using your wife to gain access. And Moldaver, she was on her own, but her own track was Robert House. He was the one to stop. And somehow felt like Hank. So I mean, because she felt because was it about war on Robert House, war on Vault-Tec? For Moldaver, or was it mainly killing Robert House would eliminate a lot of what's going on here? That's what I felt like that's what I felt like she was going.
I mean, definitely points that way with the whole poison thing.
Yeah, it kind of felt like to me killing Robert House would eliminate a lot of what's going on here. And I think we understand that she was very wrong on that. But she knew that Hank had something to do with this also, but it wasn't still war on Vault-Tec. It wasn't still war on, it was mainly realizing that Hank as had a hand in a lot of the shit that's going on here.
I really hope we don't have to wait too long, because so many questions.
Yeah.
And very little answers, but I'm not complaining about that. A lot of people, as I said earlier, are complaining like they left so much open. It's like, yeah, because the story's still going.
And it's still good. See,
like it sucks we have to wait probably, at least 8 months or something like that, maybe a year. But I'm not complaining about things being left open.
But good shows that still have good content.
I feel like they closed enough doors, or they sort of closed certain doors but opened others in a way that I was content with. And
so much so that we hardly were able to speak about Maximus and Lucy, and I mean, she's been through a lot, no question, but has she truly changed in this situation?
I think she's definitely becoming more realistic about the situation she's dealing with. There's less okie dokie.
But it's still more
that sort of that optimistic sheen is starting to is definitely degrading.
But it's still no final Smokey, though. I mean, she's still going to try not to kill people.
Oh yeah, but that's that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. You
It may
know,
not be a safe thing. It may not be the best thing for her, well-being, but it's, you can't take that away from her.
but you never think in certain situations a
Oh,
person may.
in certain situations, sure, but I don't know. I like that you do have that balance, and you even got it a little bit with Maximus, where he was ultimately unwilling to kill. What's his name? Quintus? Was it
No, what you mean?
this like the head of that chapter of the Brotherhood?
He wasn't going to. Hold on. I knew he hesitated, but he ultimately decided not to kill him.
Yeah. Remember, he wanted to kill him, but then he just locked him in the room.
His name was Xander, right?
No,
No,
who?
he killed Xander.
Yeah, he absolutely.
Kamal Najani.
Yeah, he absolutely did that. But Quintus the
No,
Destroyer. But Quintus the
yeah,
Destroyer, as he will be known now.
which we should describe to Charles that was from the post-credit sequence. So it's that scene was Maximus's friend is like the
gender fluid.
like
Let's keep it going.
his gender fluid friend, bringing him a map or something like something rolled up in a tube. She's like, "Here's this thing you wanted," and he's like, "I tried bringing the Brotherhood together, and that failed. So I'm going to be. Was it Quintus? Am
The
I getting that
Unifier.
right?
The Unifier.
Quintus the Unifier. I'm going to be Quintus the Destroyer." And he lays out the blueprints for Charles. You played 3, right?
Yes.
So you remember? Oh, fuck me. Oh, god damn it.
The prime joints.
The giant like robot.
Liberty
I'm
Prime.
blanking.
Yes.
Liberty Prime. Thank you.
Yeah.
He unveils the blueprints for Liberty Prime Alpha.
Liberty Prime is going to be in season 3.
And apparently it's going to be practical. So I'm looking forward to that.
Practical Liberty Prime.
Yeah.
I would have expected something like that to be CG, and I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, but it's actually, I fucking love how much of the show is practical. Like, most of the Deathclaw stuff, aside from when they were, I guess when they were really in motion, was all practical. They sort of did it Jurassic Park style. Mixture of puppets and CG.
All right, I'm even more excited for season 3 because if we're going to see Liberty Prime in practical effects,
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be
I'm
so
intrigued.
cool.
Like, is it going to be some kind of like, trick photography with like, they do it like a third scale and do things like that? Or is it going to be, hey, we've got the budget. Let's just fucking make this thing.
Yeah, but Liberty Prime is huge.
It's massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. So they're like, are
It's
they
like
going to
fucking,
blow their entire budget on Liberty Prime? It's like, what the fuck? They're going to have to scale that thing down. They're going to have to.
they would have to, right? Like yeah.
But
I don't know. I'm intrigued.
I would just say that Maximus definitely, it. I just feel like it's kind of fun in the way that I mean, if I'm being honest, really, it may be a hot take. I don't know, but I honestly like the way they kind of play with the race thing and with this. I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? You see it, but it's not blatant. You see it, but you don't have to see the stereotypical, racist in with the situation. But you get to see how, how status and hierarchy still played in the 50s and the 60s and things like that, and the way they're kind of keeping to it and the way certain things go. You know, you can say that, like, it's funny. It's funny how even in that moment, in that first episode, you see how it shatters. You see Coop with his biracial daughter, and then you see these two guys that are talking about him. You know what I'm saying? Being in a, you know, being on the downside of his life at this point. One's white, one's black. But when you see the bombs drop, you see the veneer shatter.
Yeah, when the guy's like keeping people out of his vault. Come on, just let us in. He's fucking shoving people out of the way.
Okay,
No, he's not. He's not
can I
shoving.
bring something
No,
up real quick?
I'm going to put a pin in this, but go ahead.
Yeah, but no, it's just the character Thaddeus, the guy that was thinking that he was turning into a ghoul, the one that was like creating the bottle caps with like the bunch of ghoul kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured out what's going on with him. He's not turning into a ghoul.
Oh no, like the way fucking the way the ghoul looked at him a couple times, like when he showed him the little mouth on his shoulder,
Yeah.
and then when his arm fell off, he gave him this look both times, like, oh fuck. Like he knows. He definitely knows what he's turning into, but they haven't clued the audience in yet.
Oh, I looked it up. I found out what it is. When Thaddeus before he was changing, when he took that like drug that like started his change in
Yeah,
season 1,
in
that
the
wasn't a drug
snake
that
oil
turned him into a
station.
ghoul. It was FEV, forced evolutionary virus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
he's
they sort
turning
of.
in. He's turning into a centaur. I'm calling it now. He's turning into a centaur.
That's unfortunate.
You know what the centaur are, right, Damian?
I do. They have no arms and they are just a hideous monstrosity.
Yup. Stone, to let you know what a centaur is. Centaurs are basically these like, and I say with air quotes. You can't see me do the air quotes, but they're basically air quotes. They are basically guard dogs for super mutants in Fallout 3, the video game.
Like if you
And
want to see one,
they,
just Google Fallout Centaur, and
yeah,
you'll.
they are mean motherfuckers. Like they are not fun to fight. They are,
Okay.
yeah. And when he lost his arm with his arm falling off in that
Yeah.
one episode, I was like, yeah, I think that confirms it. He's turning into a centaur.
I was trying to think of it the whole time. I'm like, this all seems like the fucking mouth and the it just seems so familiar. But it's been, my God, I haven't played fucking 3 or New Vegas in years. Even Fallout 4, it's been years.
Well,
So I was like,
the centaurs weren't in Fallout New Vegas. They were only in Fallout 3, I
it
think.
was only in 3. Okay, yeah, I thought so. I was like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think were they in 4 or not, but
no, they
definitely remember
weren't.
them from 3 for sure.
No,
Because
they weren't.
anytime you
But
encounter one, it was fucking horrible.
yeah, but no, just like when I started seeing what was going on with Thaddeus, I was like, okay, he's turning into either a super mutant or a centaur. And when his arm fell off, I was like, okay, he's turning into a centaur.
Yeah, because the super mutants definitely have their arms, and
Yes,
they're
they
super
do.
super jacked.
Yeah, that's gonna suck for Thaddeus. Like, yeah, because
Yeah,
he's gonna lose all his sense of self. He's basically gonna turn into like this mindless killing machine. It's like,
I'd be intrigued to see how they deal with that,
yeah,
because the show is like, and this is another thing I've seen people complain about, there's too much comedy in the show, but I like that it's not completely serious because every fucking post-apocalyptic show is super serious. I
yeah,
like that they're doing a more comedic take on things.
yeah.
I
I
don't I
appreciate
don't
that as
need
well.
another just everything is bleak and awful.
I think if
Um,
this show went all in on like the seriousness and the bleak and the awfulness, I think that would have done this show a disservice. I
It's
like
think the
it
co-
could have been great, but it's just like I like the
oh
balance of fun and heaviness.
no, because
I think the comedy is definitely working well with this show.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, because Because if you're talking about a actual future that's beyond where our future is, and you're talking about this society that's basically sort of like basically retrofitting the 1950s or 60s onto their society. Yeah, there's got to be some goofiness in there somewhere. There's just no way it can't be. Especially when you think about people in the fucking 50s where they still spell ice cream shop, where they spell shop SHOPPE. Like you said in the story here, what's a shoppy? What the hell is a shoppy?
And like, yeah, there's definitely more comedy than there was in the games, especially the initial 2 games. But yeah, I don't mind
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
because of previously stated reasons. I don't need another fucking just absolutely bleak post-apocalyptic show. There's enough.
But
Give me
the
a
one
bit of a
the
change
one that
for a
works
moment.
on this idea, but for me, it would be hard to not have some humor in a show that works off of an idea like this. When you have somebody that's they're not in an actual supernatural time warp, they're in a self-imposed societal aesthetic time warp, and that's weird. That you can't. There's only so much seriousness you can give that. I have to be honest. When you think about the fact that someplace that's so far beyond where that was is basically going back, is basically holding on to that aesthetic, that mindset, that perspective. That's definitely a level of goofiness you have to acknowledge.
Yeah, when you get this super bleak, like sort of, oh my god, everything's ended, but still, like the music that plays on the radio is, I'm thinking about my baby. It's just like, you know,
That's why that is why Rob Zombie always knew that the off-putting music in certain scenes was great because it's twisted. When you think when you think about it and you
yeah,
think
there's
about
just
how they got,
there's a dissonance there.
Mhm.
it's like I said, it's definitely, it's like, honestly, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you broke down the lyrics of Happy Together, if you changed the tone, I always thought about that. Like if I ever did a movie into the soundtrack, if I changed the tone in that song, it could be a song on its own, just remake it, make the tone a little darker, the beat a little, you know what I'm saying, the beat a little slower, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like it could become a song about total obsession.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot of songs
just the
like
first,
that too.
yeah, just the first lyrics that he comes out with. Imagine me and you. I do. I think about your day and night. It's only right to think about the one you love and hold her tight. So happy together. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, you put a different tone and bass line on that. Oh yeah, it's creepy as fuck.
Oh yeah, turn that into like a, I don't know, like a gothic doom song or something. Like, yeah, that shit is creepy.
So it's just like I'm trying to tell you, it's like that's the thing. So it was like when you think about the 40s and the 50s and the way people were and the way people tried to represent themselves, it was and honestly, it was a darker. It was and I love this because there is a darker side to the 50s and the 40s, the 50s and the 60s because there was so much rampant racism that when you have people acting like this, it's like yeah, they were kind of sick in the head. You know what I'm saying? It's like something was mentally gone with them or something because it's like when you realize how rampant racism was, it's just like you guys are really like just kind of got your head in the clouds acting like no, it's more like the age of innocence bullshit. And so yeah, it's kind of apropos that they would that in this futuristic society where they're on that same bullshit, yeah, they would go right back to the fucking 40s and the 50s with their aesthetic. You know, it's odd. It's odd because that time it was almost like Teflon. People's attitudes and the way they could kind of cover up what was really going on underneath all the racism, the sexism, and classism and everything like that. And they can make people look like they're so just Barbie and Ken. You know what I'm saying? And just like, oh my God. Like it's like the way they could hide the dark side of society with that. Like I understand why they retreated back to that. It's a very interesting, you know what I'm saying? It's a very interesting critique on society, if you ask me. Why people want to make America great again, or get back to trad values and everything like that. It makes you understand.
And before we unravel that thread, I'm just going to put a pin in this show.
Okay, absolutely.
Well, so we've covered Fallout Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8, mostly. Bunch of the implications that come with certain things. And, sorry, what were you going to say?
More predictions. I just feel like I love what we do because I never want to go through step by step what a show was and what happened in every beat of the show, because I want to be content that inspires people to possibly watch the show, not watch the show because they feel like they got everything from us, you know what I'm saying, and everything that we said on our show. I want them to hear certain things, hear certain takes and conversations that we have surrounding what the show was presenting, as a way to maybe check the show out themselves, and maybe they'll have an opinion on what they see. Maybe they'll have a stance based on the topic that we brought up, you know, on this particular show. That's I love how we do that. So I don't really apologize for it. You know what I'm saying? I think at first I was with you on being more like, this is kind of how we do, but I'm kind of, I don't apologize for it anymore. I kind of like that we do that, because I don't want us to tell everything, because then we're not getting people to watch the show. We're not starting a conversation. We're just telling people what we saw and what we thought on it, instead of just saying, you know what, these particular parts and things here, without giving out too much of what happened here, and not giving out too much of what happened there, giving more predictions of what we see from what we've seen in certain situations. Then people, I think it'll give enough room for people to go in and say, I could check it out, and then say, well, I agree with H, or maybe, no, you know what, I think Damian and Charles were more on to something here. You know, like wherever they go, at least they can go and check it out for themselves, and basically get their own opinion without feeling like it's all been dropped right in front of them and everything like that. So I like how we do it, you know. And who knows? Like I said, I don't want to give out too much, because it's just, because like I said, I think it just takes the fun out of somebody going and checking it out with the bits and pieces that they have, and being able to say, okay, this is what I saw, this is what I heard, and this is what I'm getting from this. You know, I kind of like doing that. You know, so I definitely enjoy it.
It's something it's kind of lacking nowadays. People just say like, oh, this guy I follow said it sucks, so I guess it sucks. It's like, no, just check things out for yourself. Make your own opinions.
Because like I said before, I enjoy the show. I think that the content that the game is built on and that the show is referencing, it has a lot of layers to it. That's all I'm saying, really. There's a lot of layers to it that can be explored. I don't mind a black woman being a villain. I don't mind a black man being a villain in the show. I think the way that they're doing it is very nice. She's very much looking like a, you know what I'm saying, like a black first lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
yeah,
the little hats that she wears and stuff like that. She definitely tries to come off like a black first lady for sure. You know what I'm saying? She's definitely primmed and propered up for that trad thing, but she's definitely a corporate woman, which I think that's what they kind of play on with her being black. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, but they play on something different when it came to Steph. In a way, she's Canadian. They're taking over her country, and she's more of a freedom fighter now, more than just, you know, somebody who's inherently evil, or, you know what I'm saying, under the corporate interest.
Is another reason why I would like either more episodes or longer episodes, because I would have liked that as even like, you know, if we had like 12 episode seasons or something like that, I would have liked that as like its own episode rather than just an intro to an episode. Like give me more on that.
I hear you, but I think it's more just kind of, I think that the messaging, like they're playing, like it's almost like they're kind of using the game and then the show to sort of like take us back to having a conversation about how certain things were, and would this have been the right way to go in the situation? I mean, in a weird ass way, they were, and the reason why I say that because they were discussing that. I don't know if you guys know that Trump was actually discussing trying to get Canada to join the United States.
I saw that a little while ago. I didn't take it seriously when I read it though.
But see that's the thing that got Trump in the office because people thought everything that he was saying was like reality show, slop. But he was running for president and he was fucking serious. You know what I'm saying? He was absolutely fucking serious. Oh, and by the way, he recently sharped during one of his press conferences or whatever.
Again, we can't unravel this thread. It's too late.
Oh yeah, you're right. But for other people, I don't know why. I don't understand why people like to call it a shart. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the more appropriate way to call something like what happened to him, I like to call it a fit. I think he actually had a fit. A fart that turned into a shit.
Okay, but I feel like you're just renaming what a shot already is, though.
But see, a shart is a shit that started from a fart. But a fit is a fart that turned into a shit.
So you're saying, much like a rocket launcher, the fart just propelled the shit?
Yes.
Which I guess, either way, though, it's got to be like that, right?
But see, I don't know. See, the shart was meant to be clever because it's putting shit and fart together, but it's not giving the right sequence. You have to explain like it's a
Oh
shit
no. Shart is pretty apt because yeah, I have my own experience with that. Yeah.
We can't unravel this thread. It's too late. This is another 40 minutes.
You're right.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
But I enjoy Fallout. I enjoy both seasons. I enjoy.
Not would. Have never had one of those experiences so far.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Ooh.
Except one time when I took acid. For some reason, the next day, had a bad time. But
it only ever happened.
Story for another day.
It only ever happened once. But yeah.
I've only ever been guilty. I've only ever been guilty of groundhogs. That's the only thing I've ever been guilty of in my youth.
What, turtling?
Groundhogs.
We're talking about the same thing where it just sort of peeks out.
But see, you gotta understand the mechanics though. See, you gotta understand the mechanics of a groundhog from a turtle. See, turtles are mostly out unless they're threatened, and then they peek back in to come back out later. See, a groundhog mostly is underground, and then at a certain point, they're poking out. So yeah, you groundhogging, prairie dogging,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is this conversation?
You never saw Rat Race?
Wait, which version of Rat Race?
I've only seen like whatever the most recent one was from the
remake.
90s.
Yeah, the remake. The one
because as out the window, he's like, "Look, Dad, I'm prairie dogging."
The one where John Lovitz ends up burning his finger and ends up getting like a burn on his face that makes it look like the Hitler stash, and he goes to a World War II veterans rally and he shows up on the stage in Adolf Hitler's car and starts starts talking in gibberish, and everybody thinks that he's talking in German, and so one of the veterans pulls out a gun and shoots at him.
Damn, I completely blanked on that, but it's been so long. I may need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah,
for some reason the only memory I have is the prairie dogging things, because it's like, I'm prairie dogging. It's like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I remember that scene quite vividly because I remember laughing my ass off at that part. I think it was John Lovitz at that part. I think that's who it was.
Or at least family members anyway.
It's ringing a bell.
Family members anyway, but like I said, I definitely enjoyed it, man. Definitely's got a lot of content here, definitely. I mean, it could definitely go for a few seasons. But like I said, I would definitely say, as far as like the way they're covering certain things and certain people, I mean, it's on par. It's on par, and we're seeing different kinds of people of all types. We're seeing different kinds. We're seeing, and I'm glad, and I am glad to see that. You know, I am glad to see that it's not just Woody, that there is a Maximus, that there is the guy that's the bartender, that is even the woman that's outside of the Enclave or Vault Tech. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's a part of Freeside, and you know what I'm saying, and things like that. There's different things to deal with in, you know what I'm saying, the handle here. You know what I'm saying, how one black female is helping to run the new California Republic. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. So there's different ways to see people here. You know what I'm saying, and you
And
know what
that
I'm saying.
and that's yeah. I think that's something I said in one of the previous episodes we did about this season was they they put everyone, no matter what you look like, where you come from, they pretty much put them on equal footing, more or less. You know,
More
anyone
or
can
less,
be
more or
like
less, yes.
anyone can play any role. There's no like, oh, you can't have black people as villains. You can't have white people as heroes, or you can't have Mexican, like, whatever it, whatever the iteration may be. Everyone can be anything without it being just like, see, right?
But there is a bit of a, I would definitely say, there's a bit of, I would definitely say with the Brotherhood of Steel, and like I would definitely say the different factions in the Wasteland are definitely representative of, like, they're more representative of different outliers in society in different ways. You
Because
know,
they're less, I guess, traditionally formed, or it is just kind of cobbled together from whoever comes into the fold.
yeah, in a way, but I would
Like
probably say,
you
like,
get that with everybody to a point, but more so with certain groups.
I would say that, like, I would say that when I say the outliers, like women, like women in, like combat leadership roles, which makes Steph quite the anomaly. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the Vaulties and whatnot. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's a toxic masculinity, you know what I'm saying, that's in, you know what I'm saying, that's in most of the Wasteland males, you know what I'm saying, outside of Maximus. But then there's also the non-white that may not have had access or affordability into the vaults and things like that. You know what I'm saying? You either have to work for or be connected into someone with a lot of money that would be able to get in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how Steph worked her way in there. You know, that's exactly the way she worked her way in. You know, so it's just like, and honestly help me out here. Was what she injected into him able to make him feel like they were all good with what ended up happening to him before?
Wait, who?
Hank, when they did everything, knocked him out, removed the cold fusion, all of a sudden he's back, all of a sudden he's up, he's met Steph, and they're gonna get married.
Well, I think he was. Didn't Cooper get him pretty hammered before that point?
Yes, he did. But I still thought that it was a little rushed. Not a little rushed. It was very rushed on how the two of them got together.
Yeah, but then it's also like I kind of think like, okay, I get really hammered. I wake up, like, you get like blackout drunk. You wake up, there's this fucking sexy blonde who's just like, yeah, we got married last night. I'm like, okay, yeah,
And
we
and
did.
he doesn't And he's I guess he's under direct orders not to open the case, I guess, so he wouldn't know that the cold fusion is missing then, right?
No, because he was at that point in time. He was just an assistant, right?
He was the courier. He was the courier of that. I believe wasn't that handcuffed to him?
Yeah,
It
well,
was.
no,
It
the thing
was, but
that was handcuffed to him was the device that would act as the extraction device that would
yeah,
remove the diode from his neck.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's still weird to me that he would be able to. Okay, for anybody to be able to transfer. I mean, I just feel like there's got to be something different about them. But anyway, but well, I guess if it's not, it's not. You know what I'm saying? If he's not in any way altered or any way different or any way just not just 100% human, like okay, all right, fine, I'll accept it. But something keeps telling me that something is up with Hank. You know what I'm saying? Like Hank has had his hand into too much stuff, and I just feel like that's got to mean something more than just him being a great actor and a good main character. He's had his hands in different things. Like do we agree that the second bomb that was wheeled in by that guy that was being remote controlled himself into that town, into why am I forgetting the
Shady
town?
Sands.
Say again?
Shady Sands.
Yes, that was Hank, right? They're putting they're putting that on at Hank's feet, right?
At least that's what they. Yeah, like no, not even implied. Yeah, because it showed up on his Pip Boy. Bomb detonated.
Yeah. He was the one responsible for what happened to Shady Sands.
So
He
that so
caused
that
it.
so that's what. But see, that was a follow up. But see, but you guys understand that was a follow up to what had happened before to ensure to ensure the lie that like until they were ready for Reclamation Day, that it was going to be made to seem like nothing survived and nothing could survive up there that wasn't inhuman.
Yeah, and that's a big thing they left us for season 3. Is what is phase 2?
Also, yeah, that's another one. You know, that is another one. But I'm just saying, like Hank is has been really big, and like I said, it just leads me to believe that, like I said, either they were like this duo that was working big for the Enclave while within Voltech, or you know what I'm saying, or it was mainly him or mainly her. But like I say, either way, it still implicates them both, Hank and Barbara, as being like really big factors in what ended up happening here, regardless.
Mm.
And as they move on, he continues to do certain things that seems to put him in different spaces in different ways. Like he's furthering Robert House's because I'm sorry, that's the thing that's the message that's been sent to me. The first time we see the technology is Robert House using it, and basically is using it on some random guys that he ends up antagonizing in some way or baiting in some way. That's where we first see it in the first place, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's in Hank's hands, and he's furthering it. He furthered it to a point where it's this little small thing that he was going to create his own bot daughter, you know, so or remote controlled daughter and everything like that, and she still couldn't kill a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like I swear.
Although the second time we see it is in that vault with the manufactured communists.
Is that what those were?
Yeah, remember they went into the vault in, I want to say episode 2, 3. It was at like a drive-in theater. It was like behind a screen, and they went in there and they were like those, fake communists that had the mind control things.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it was so weird. I just couldn't place what. So what do you think? So you obviously have a theory on what that's about, or maybe we can talk about it next week.
I just think it furthers the whole I guess the agenda to be like, the communists dropped the bombs first. So I don't know how it plays exactly into that plan, but there was definitely some shenanigans going on.
Well, yeah, people are starting to fess up to red flags are being a real thing. But I just, yeah, like I said, I really can't wait. I mean, there's so much that we can keep on expounding and predicting on this. Like you said, I really can't wait until season 3. I just feel like now it's more about, okay, we come back to what's to be done about the battle between the new California Republic and Legion. We see now, and I guess what Maximus, and what Lucy plan to do about that. I guess she looks at it as, and even in that moment, she looked at it as like something that she could have done to prevent the war from happening. What do you think that is? Could that have been killing somebody?
No, it was going along with Hank's plan. Making them all peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you felt like she was regretting when she was standing beside Maximus,
Yeah,
not going
because
along with his plan.
Hank told her that. He said, like, this is going to happen, but we could fix this. And she was like, no.
Because she believes in letting people have a choice. She thought that using the mind control devices took people's choices away from them.
Because the only time she used that was because she was forced to, because she was going to be the guy from the NCR that saved her life or helped save her life was going to be killed by the Legion guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very, very begrudgingly.
Yeah. And then she found out after the fact that once she activates the device, it's permanent. She can't undo it.
Because she tried being like, "Hey, do you remember me from that hill where you saved my life?" And he just sort of looked at her like, "No." Didn't say no, but that was the expression. It's like
Yeah.
he has no memory of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so we have that. We have I guess season 3 should reveal some more of the. There should be some more Enclave reveal, possibly, or finally. I think. Do you think? I finally think season 3 is the moment where he has to face off with Barbara. I mean, do we still feel like that has to be delayed, or what? How are you guys feeling on that?
I think if we're going to see Barbara at all in season 3, it's not going to happen until near the end of season 3.
Yeah.
He's going to spend the entire season looking for them, and then we'll see them like right before the season ends. Like maybe the penultimate episode.
But definitely, you feel like it'll happen in season 3, though. That's.
Yes.
I mean, like,
It'll happen
okay,
in season 3, but not until near the end.
that works. I mean, because I feel like it's got to be a payoff for that, and there's got to be a payoff for this for this whole swerve. I mean, because otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Another theory I have is that we are going to see who leads the Enclave.
Oh yeah, that absolutely. I'm with you. I'm agreeing with you on that.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that in that reveal is going to also be revealed how much control the Enclave have in the situation, and it's going to lead to him realizing one way or another. Now, if they find a way to absolve Barbara again, who knows? But there's some way he's going to find out that he had no control in that situation. He's
Now,
got to.
I have a question for Damian. Damian, do you think it's going to be Malcolm McDowell?
I was I was going to say, I hope it is. I hope he was fake dead and that it is him.
Yeah. Now, remember, for those of us that have played Fallout 3, it wasn't like a living, breathing person that led the Enclave. It was an artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm McDowell did the voice of that artificial intelligence that led the Enclave. So, if Malcolm McDowell did return to reprise his role, it would strictly be in a voice role. It would not be he would not physically be there. He would be a voice role.
But still, I would be very happy.
Yeah, I'd be happy about it too.
Because even if it's a different, like, it's, I don't know, a 2.0 of the same AI or something. Like,
Yeah.
something like that, but it's still him. I'd be quite content with that.
Yeah, I mean they already got Ron Perlman to do a cameo appearance. Why not get Malcolm McDowell to show up?
Well, she was like, when you think about, like, who do I get to play a super mutant? You think of the most, like, fucking, like, primal looking motherfucker that exists in the acting
I mean, the
realm.
guy already
But
looks like a Neanderthal, so I mean, come on.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And as soon as I heard that voice, I'm like, oh, nice.
No, when he showed up and he started talking, I was like, "Wait a minute, I know that voice." It's like, is that Ron Perlman? And then I looked it up and I was like, "Holy shit, it is Ron Perlman!" It's like, what the hell?
The, I guess the official narrator of the Fallout series.
Yeah, because he's narrated a Fallout game ever since Fallout New Vegas. Actually, New Vegas was the last. No,
I think
he also he
I
also
want
did
to say he
Fallout
did the
76.
originals. I feel like he did the originals.
No. I'm talking about the last one he did.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Because he also came back to do Fallout 76.
Yeah, I think he did actually. Yeah.
The only one that he didn't do was Fallout 4.
So it was 4 that he wasn't in.
Yeah, he didn't do Fallout 4. They had the guy that did the voice of the male Soul Survivor, the male character.
Ah, okay.
He did the voiceover that did like War Never Changes. That was him. He did it. But yeah, Ron Perlman didn't come back to do Fallout 4, which I don't really know why. It's
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
like he came back to do Fallout 76, so like why didn't he come back for 4? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was doing some other project and he didn't have the time. Who knows?
I guess, but you think of development time of that game, and it's just voiceover. Like, there's got to be some other reason.
Who knows?
Because it would have been like, maybe a 30-minute recording session.
Yeah, because all Ron Perlman would have done is just sit in a fucking recording studio, read a few lines on the script, and then get paid and then leave. That's it.
Like, probably could have done it remotely, really.
Yeah, he could have. He could have done it from the comfort of his own home.
Like, this is pre-Zoom and whatnot, but still, like, there would have been a way to facilitate that. So I feel like it was just because they added voice protagonists for that one. They probably went that way.
Yeah, possibly. They probably didn't even bother asking him. Who knows? But yeah, Ron Perlman being in a cameo appearance, hell yeah, really like that. That was cool.
And
Hell.
hopefully he returns.
Hell, what if they got Liam Neeson?
Oh. Like he would have to play a different character, but
Yeah, he would have to play a different character. He couldn't play the father of the main character from Fallout 3. He wouldn't be able
No,
to.
I don't see any way they could work that in where it wouldn't just feel ham-fisted.
Yeah, he would have to play something else. But
yeah, but that would still be fucking great.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right. Well, again,
All right, let's close this bitch out. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Nope, that was it. I was just trying to think. I was trying to be considerate of you and just think about that.
All right. Well, we have covered The last 2 episodes of Fallout Season 2 we will be back for Season 3 whenever that comes out. But next week we have Undetermined. We've got nothing officially planned. But
Yeah,
the
we'll figure
Predator
it out.
Badlands is there. That's something we could do.
Mhm.
But we will figure it out.
Mm.
Into the bed.
What?
Wait, are you talking about that show with like Daniel Wu?
Woo?
Yeah, Daniel Wu.
No, I think he's talking about Predator Badlands.
Oh, Predator Badlands. I thought you said Into the Badlands.
He did.
No, I didn't. I don't even know what that is. But
Into
it's
the Badlands is a show that was on AMC that starred Daniel Wu.
woo.
And also Nick Frost.
Nick
Eventually.
Frost didn't show up until the later seasons, though.
But he was awesome.
He was awesome, but he didn't show up until like the third season.
Well, anyway, this has been TEE TV. I am Damian Jarajas. Next to me is Charles.
Yes.
And under me is Stone Cold Killer. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
And hey, don't swing that way, pal. Peace.
He ain't no bottom. Goodbye.